Hi, welcome to Banana Hammock. You're listening to Banana Hammock Podcast, hosted by
Kenny Four Fingers.
and Jose.
Yeah, we reversed the names today.
What?
I said we set the names wrong. But
Of course.
yeah. So,
Breaker 19, incoming transmission.
yeah, we got breaking news on the David Dobrik saga. So, he just did another apology video. And we're going to react to it. Let me just get it up right now. That sounded wrong. Let me just get it up.
Oh, that's something I wish never to hear coming from out of my mouth.
What the hell?
Yeah, I don't want to be like,
Wait, what am I writing?
I don't want to depend on the blue pill because I'm a red pill type of guy.
Oh, okay. Are you really, though?
Yes.
Look at the frenemies up there.
Right, of course.
David Dobrik. Thanks to them, it's like the whole story blew up, so.
He has it under, like a
It's on his main channel?
Yeah.
But it's such a generic title. Get the fuck out of here. Okay. So we will be reacting to it now with ads.
Hi guys,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
1:45
Wow, we should have.
in the morning, and I'm finally by myself, which I know doesn't sound that crazy to be by yourself at 1:45 in the morning, but this week's been pretty hectic, and there have been a lot of people.
What does
A lot of people
TW?
around.
What does TW stand for?
Trigger warning.
Oh, trigger warning. Okay, so trigger warning for the people listening, I guess.
Oh, well, not for the people listening, but
No,
it's...
but I mean for our listeners and the people viewing the video,
Oh, yeah, of course.
it has to be a trigger warning because it's
The
it goes
R
with a lot of
word,
stuff.
the SA.
Yep.
Tell me what to do, giving me advice, trying to help me, most importantly, and that was a lot, and now I just want to be able to do this and just shoot straight into the camera and just talk to you guys. I've put myself in a lot of situations where I've needed to apologize for my past actions, and I've never done this correctly, and I've never done this respectfully, and my last video is a testament to that. I don't want to defend that video. I don't want to delete that video. I just want to be clear. What this video isn't going to be is...
My question is, why wouldn't he delete that video?
What do you mean?
Like, he's like, oh, I don't want to delete that video. I just want to be clear. But wouldn't it be easier for him just to delete it?
Well, I mean, yeah, but, like, it makes him look worse because he's deleting it.
In my mind, I don't think it makes him look worse. If anything, I think he doesn't want to delete it because when you delete a video on YouTube, all those views disappear.
Oh, so what happens? Oh.
I feel like that's the reason he doesn't want to delete it.
I don't know. I feel like because, like, I guess for documentation purposes, maybe?
Maybe, but he's like, oh, I failed on the last apology video, so let me try to be more straightforward, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but he explained that, like, his lawyers, like, made him, or told him to say it.
Okay,
Like
let's
on
go.
the previous one. This, I guess...
This is
It's not going to be
cup.
me discrediting Trisha,
Yeah,
Kat,
I guess
or
this
any
is
other
like
woman
off the
involved.
record, on the record.
I'm going to
type
be
of thing.
using words that may trigger some survivors, and that's just so I don't explain anything vaguely, and I can explain every situation appropriately. I want to start this video off by saying I fully believe the woman who came out against Dom and said she was by him. As was reported the next day, I got...
Alright, so just so people know what he was trying to say, it was SA and what was it? R, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, he's like, he truly believes the women that came out and said that, but why did he allow it to happen? Why did he push for it?
Or more like, why did he ignore it?
I mean, the ignoring thing he does all the time, but why did he push for it so much?
Exactly.
Like, he's the one telling them, oh, go get alcohol, or do something sexy, like...
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
consent to post the video. Even though I got the consent to post that video, I should have never posted it. And what I understand now, and I didn't understand before, is that she sent that text because she felt like she had to, not because she wanted to. And that's fucked up. And I'm sorry. When she later reached out a couple months later to take the video down, I immediately took it down. And I want to apologize to her and her friends for ever putting them in an environment that I enabled that made them feel like their safety and values were compromised. I'm so sorry. I was completely disconnected from the fact that when people were invited to film videos with us, especially videos that relied on shock for views or whatever it was, that I was creating an unfair power dynamic. I did not know this before. It was completely wrong, and I wish I was more...
But like, if he didn't know, then like of his like supposed like power dynamic, how come he was offering people money
every time?
exactly?
Like every time they told him we don't want it on the vlog, we don't want it. He'd be like, oh, I'll give you like $2,000, or he did the same thing with Seth.
Yeah, because that means he has fucking power to influence.
And the worst thing he did to Seth, I think, was like tell him for that commercial, oh, you're gonna get paid, and then when Seth is like, hey, I need that money, oh, I'm just gonna put you as a shout out on the blog.
I was like throughout my research, what I think it was like, it was like in the H3 podcast. Trisha was talking about Logan Paul, saying that like the whole suicide thing, like he ended up apologizing, and like he gave like I think he donated $1 million to the
Yeah,
suicide
he did.
prevention.
He donated $1 million, and he made like a bunch of videos on it. Like he did like I think a series, like talking to like someone who survived suicide, and like people that run the hotline, things like that. He did a series like going and talk to people.
And so he could understand, but this guy,
He doesn't show any of that.
Yeah,
There is no effort coming from him. Like in all honesty, I'm just checking if both mics are working. But in all honesty, there is absolutely no effort whatsoever.
So
Like it's just him making a small video going, I'm sorry.
that was what I was about to ask you. Like, so what do you think of the apology so far compared to his previous one?
I mean, it looks more sincere, but the only reason it looks like that is because our boy is about to lose everything.
Yeah.
I call him our boy as a joke, not as in like I think he's my boy, like fuck that. But like he's just I'm pretty sure he's on the point of losing everything, and that scares him more than anything else.
So you're saying it's like an act of desperation, like what he's doing right
Yeah,
now?
he's desperate, just like the other guy that came out, Jeff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's
like,
just desperation out of all of them. Like they fucking who's the one that made the video right before the whole like article came out? Wasn't it Dom?
yeah, dumb.
So there you go. That's another desperate dude fucking going like, oh no, blah blah blah. Like all this could have been stopped if they would have listened to Seth.
Yeah,
The rabbit hole would have never been opened if they would have answered Seth's call, but they were like, oh no, we gotta ghost him.
of course. But oh well.
Now they gotta deal with the consequences.
And what sucks is that he just barely got a house, a brand new house, and like whatever.
Why do you care? He has millions and millions of dollars. That house doesn't mean shit. Like it's nothing to him.
But now he doesn't. I'm pretty sure.
He still has the money. You think he's not rich? You saw his scheme he did with those little puzzles that he was selling?
Oh yeah, that's right.
He
When
did
was
a
selling-
puzzle that was what, $10?
Yeah, each one of them.
And the puzzles had QR codes on them, so you scan it, and it quote unquote had money. But almost everyone who bought a puzzle only got $1. And his friends were the ones that were getting the ones that said like 10 grand.
No way!
Because he put it up like to some of his friends. They're like, "Oh, do the puzzle." And when they did, it would be like 10 grand, 20, like 2,000, 3,000.
That is crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah, like it's a scam. He literally sold that shit to kids. Like you know how like H3 even said it. That's a lottery that you're selling to kids.
That is wild. I didn't know. Like I know he was selling and whatnot, but like I didn't know he was compensating his friends.
No, it wasn't like compensating. It was kind of like there was a big old fucking like controversy that came out behind another like website, like those gambling websites.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of it, but basically they told Jake Paul and Rice Gum, advertise us and we'll give you a ton of free shit. And like on the website they would go and they were like, oh, let me open this box. It's $20. Oh my god, I got Yeezys. $300 Yeezys, bro. I only opened a $20 box.
Oh, I see.
And that shit was already predetermined. Like they were gonna give that to them.
Yeah, so it was like
Because most
misleading.
people that were doing it were getting fidget spinners. So that's the same shit he did. He
Wow.
misled the people by like having his quote unquote friends and fellow like collaborators or whatever do the puzzles and get a shit ton of money. It was a fake commercial.
That's my boy. You're fucking up.
All right, let's get back to the video.
More responsible, and I wish I was more aware at the time, and I'm so sorry I missed that. I didn't know what was going on in that room, and I should have been. I should have been there, and I should have been making sure that everybody involved was taken care of and wasn't uncomfortable. I don't want to use buzzwords to try to justify.
It's funny because when he said taken care of, like I really thought like he meant like taking care of like with money.
Right.
Like I really thought he meant that. Like he's like, oh, everybody there should have been taken care of. So I thought he meant like, oh, I should have paid them off.
Well, in his sense, that's what.
Like I'm pretty sure that's what, because he was doing that. So
This or explain this, but all I can say is people felt like they had to be silent for the sake of my video. And that's not right, and it's fucked up, and I'm sorry. I also want to acknowledge the women that spoke out against Dom in 2018. I'm talking about Allie, and then I'm talking about other girls that address their problems privately or publicly. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you guys. I am sorry that I took...
So that means it wasn't just them?
No, there was more people coming out against him. There's also that girl that quote unquote was 16 at the... No, I think 18 at the time, or 17 at a 18 and up party.
Uh-huh.
And he was like groping her.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Like Trisha said this, so I'm just taking it for like her word. But I don't feel like Trisha would lie about that, because she's been super like straightforward and honest about everything.
Right.
Like since the podcast, like since they were covering it and everything she said has been coming out to light. And nobody's been like discrediting her.
Damn. My dude.
Dom's word for what happened
in the
those certain situations, and I didn't believe you. And not only did I not believe you, but I made a joke of what kind of a person Dom was, because I couldn't wrap my head around a childhood friend of mine doing this to people and actually hurting people, and I'm sorry for that. Not only did I discredit you, Allie,
exactly,
but I platformed Dom.
At the end of that video, he's like, "Thank you, David." Literally, he's like, "Thank you, David." Who the fuck else was like pushing it to make him seem like that kind of character?
Yeah.
That's stupid. Oh, I am sorry for that. Fucking robot.
And not only did I platform Dom, but I platformed the subject of sex in a negative way, where I made jokes about it, and I reinforced that kind of behavior. And I'm so sorry, and I really let not only you down, but a lot of people down, a lot of people that watch me and my friends and family for that. I made the decision to no longer film with Dom in 2019, and I'm not saying my content has been brilliant since then, but that's when I first started taking into account
that's only 2 years ago.
The power dynamic and what influence I had on people that I was filming with. But what I didn't do is I didn't go back to any of these women and apologize. I kind of moved on, and I learned from it, and I grew from it, but I didn't address the situation with these women. I'm not talking publicly, I'm saying even...
So is that how he's like saying, I learned from it and I grew from it, but I never address it? Like, what the fuck? Why didn't he address it? He says that he moved on from all that and he grew from it and moved it from it. If that girl contacted him to remove that video, why didn't he do like an apology then?
Yeah.
Like if she, like, you know, they said that like she still has like PTSD like for it, or like one day, like they said that like 1 month after that situation, she was out drinking with her friends, and then she just went like, I was R-worded. Like
no,
a bunch of times in the car,
time?
in the back of the car while on their way home, she was like, I was R-worded. I was R-worded. Like that was just all the things she kept saying.
That's some heavy stuff. I feel bad. Oh, I feel bad that she was like put in that situation.
I feel bad for her too, and I mean, I don't want to sound like all-knowing or anything like that, but how long have I told you that I never liked David Dobrik's content? And there's a reason. Like every once in a while, I'll be like, "Hey, bro, like I tell you something, and you know I'm on point." GME is another example for that. I told you months before it blew up, or a month before, I was like, "Hey, bro, everyone's buying GameStop stock," and you're like, "Okay, whatever."
Oh no, you told me the day of.
Not even day of. Right before it blew up, I was texting you. There's literally a screenshot of me sending you like an IGN article where it's like a bunch of Redditors are buying GameStop stock.
But you never sent me that.
I sent it to you. I sent you a screenshot.
Screenshots or it didn't happen?
Literally, there is a screen. We're not going to be doing this here. The phone is what we use to record, bitch.
Oh, what a
cheap trick. Next time, I'll send it to you on Messenger. Like, I'll screenshot the phone and I'll send it to you on Messenger and I'll show it on the iPad.
All right, I'm getting exposed next
I
episode.
am exposing you. I'm going to cancel you.
Cancel culture.
Privately, I didn't reach out to any of these people, and that breaks my heart knowing that I was doing all this stuff and I was making all this content while there was people that were still really hurt by what I made. Before my content shifted to be more responsible and positive, I said and did things.
So there's only one reason why I'm kind of laughing at that. Like I had a big smile on my face because he was quote unquote tearing up, but then they just edit it, like they cut it right to where he's like talking normally again.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want to show genuine emotion, then why didn't they just show him crying?
Right.
It wouldn't have been anything unless he said something that wasn't like, you know, like, I'm so sorry for, you guys fucked me over, like R. Kelly.
Oh, right.
Like, he would have pulled an R. Kelly, maybe? Do you think maybe that's why he got edited out?
Maybe.
Things that were really offensive, and I called them bad jokes, and I can't even call them bad jokes, and it was cowardly of me to say in my last apology that I missed the mark, because it's fucking gross, and I'm sorry. A lot of people reached out to me saying cancel culture is bullshit, and you need to fight back, and you need to call people out, and I don't agree with how this should be taken at all. And I think when there is a crisis, there's a serious opportunity to correct yourself, to learn and improve, and to make sure those mistakes don't happen again. And that's why it is so important to hold yourself accountable. And I think with this situation, there's a lot I can look at and there's a lot I can learn from, but there's a lot of mistakes that I made, and I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for everybody I've let down. I'm sorry to my family, and I'm sorry to my friends that I've embarrassed, and that this won't happen again. I'm going to take a short break from all the social media stuff because I realize there's a serious lack of infrastructure when I make any kind of content. And I want to be able to have a place of checks and balances. I want to have HR, and I want to be able to have people communicate discomfort in a way that's comfortable to them, and where they don't feel like their emotions or what they're doing or...
This feels like a move of desperation, this last part. Where he's like, I want to do this, I want to do that, but now?
Yeah.
Why didn't he do that from the fucking beginning? Like, instead of doing it now, why didn't he fucking wait? I mean, why didn't he do it, like, when he was, like, all that shit was going on the first times he got contacted by people? Like, with the whole Trisha situation that happened, why didn't he do it then? Like, this is him trying to say, oh, all my new content is going to have this, so forgive me for all this past shit, but it's never going to happen again.
Yeah. I guess, like, he was feeling all, like, mighty and powerful and whatnot, but now that he got touched and shit.
I mean, he was one of the biggest YouTubers on the platform. And he was on TV all the time. Like, I remember they're like, oh, check out this new game show hosted by David Dobrik. Like, they make a big deal of him.
Uh-huh.
But once it all comes out...
Hosted the Teen Choice Awards?
Once it all comes out, and once it accumulates into a fucking snowball that you can't control, that's when you're fucked.
Yeah.
And this is why he's doing this. It's just desperation. Like, I really do think he's just desperate.
Uh-huh.
Anybody else would have ignored it. Like, you saw Eminem. They're trying to cancel him.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there was, like, a whole cancel Eminem thing by Gen Zs.
Why?
Like, on TikTok, they're like, can you believe the things he said about tying a woman up and hurting her and blah, blah, blah? They're like, bro, have you listened to, like, OG Slim Shady? Like, the first stuff? Like, it was worse than what you hear now.
But why do people, like... I don't understand cancel culture. I just don't understand.
I mean, I think about it in two ways. Like, there's a good and a bad to it. Because I'll give you a, like, kind of a bad example, but there's a wrestler, his name was Enzo Amore.
Uh-huh.
And he got accused of raping a girl.
Uh-huh.
Oh, sorry, I said the word fuck. But he got accused of R-wording a girl. And so the wrestling company, WWE, was like, all right, you're fired, get out of here, you're never coming back again. And then it came out that it was just like, it was allegations, it wasn't like for real.
Uh-huh.
And then it came out that he didn't do anything to her. He's never been back in the company.
So what happened? So they just screwed him over just like that?
They just let him fucking go and never wanted to see him again.
Did they even issue an apology?
No, nothing. It was just, bye, get out of here.
That is fucked
I mean,
up.
of course Enzo was doing shady shit, and a lot of people didn't like him because he was kind of an asshole in the locker room.
Uh-huh.
And that's kind of probably why they kicked him out. They're like, okay, you're too much of a problem with our guys, and like you did this, so get out of here.
That is fucked up. Okay, so you said that's like the bad part, right?
Uh-huh. The good part is like Epstein getting fucking, like, outed. Like, the Me Too movement is a good thing when it actually happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think, like, in cancel culture. Like, Epstein is a good one. I mean, David Dobrik, in my mind, is a good one. Like, it's good that they're getting exposed.
Uh-huh.
It's just, like, they just go on one thing, and they're like, oh, we gotta cancel this. Like, instantly. Like, that's the only part I don't like. Where they're like, kind of like a pack of rabid animals. You know
just
what I mean?
figure
Like, just as soon as they find one little thing of someone's past, it's like, oh, cancel him. Oh, get rid of him. Oh, he's not good. Like, it happens in Hollywood all the time. People lose their jobs over, like, some of the dumbest jokes. Like, there's one where a guy was, like, I think a teenager. And he was already, like, 20-something at the time. And they're like, oh, you're canceled because you were when you were 12 years old, you tweeted about gay people.
Just like that?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. It's a good thing I deleted my previous profile.
I mean, the good thing about this, like, for me, is I really don't have a lot of social media, so I don't care. Like, I don't tweet, I don't do Instagram, I don't do shit. Like, there's nothing out there of mine that can fuck me over when it comes to that.
Oh, my previous one, I was just sharing, like, memes, like...
Well, I know that, but I mean, like, not memes or anything, but, like, anything racial, I don't think I've ever shared anything bad. Like, if I look into my history, I'm pretty sure I don't have anything.
Thinking,
if I look into my history, like, I'm pretty sure there was one thing when Facebook first started that will probably fuck me over, but it was just a meme. But at the same time, they cancel you for shit like that.
But isn't that, like, just for entertainment purposes? Because it's, like, considered a type of humor, though.
Yeah, but it depends on the humor, because, like, it's not my thing.
Or it depends on the listener, not the...
Actually, could it have been MySpace? I'm thinking, like, where could it have been? You know when they used to do, like, what person are you?
Yeah.
And so they're like, what would you do in this situation, I feel like it was a troll, though, because a lot of people got the same person.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I shared it, I was like, bro, what the fuck? And then someone on the bottom was like, oh, that's totally you. I was like, no? Like, I got offended?
Right.
Can you guess the person?
No.
Like, it's in history. Like, what historical character are you or figure are you?
Abraham Lincoln.
No. Like, the worst one in my mind.
Hitler?
Yeah.
Really?
I had that on my Facebook and it said, you are. And then I was like, the fuck is this? And this girl I knew from, like, Florida was like, oh, that is so you. I was like, no, it's not. What are you talking about? And, like, I was like, I don't fucking get it.
What if she was being sarcastic?
I think she was, but I didn't take it like that. I actually took it seriously.
Sarcasm doesn't work when
it's something that bad, like, imagine, it's on my wall. Like, it got posted on there because you take it and then it'll post it. I was like, why the fuck did I get him?
Delete it before all the cancel
before
culture
is
like...
I don't give a shit, man. Like, it's a fucking joke. Like David.
Exactly,
how
that's what
they're
I'm
acting is
saying.
compromised.
Fucking cancel culture.
It doesn't feel right to go back to posting like I have been, and it also doesn't feel right to go dark because I love what I do. But I think it is important to show that change is possible and that I'm learning.
Were you
Maybe
doing
even
the money
forgiveness is
side
possible.
or the
I want to use
ball
this opportunity to
side?
step up and own my mistakes.
I
went like this.
I thought
We can't even see it because YouTube's on blocking us.
I'm sure I'm going to look back at this and I'm
No, you can actually see it.
No, because our YouTube window's blocking us on OBS.
More.
A little window underneath where we're reacting. Oh wait, is it even on the OBS?
And I'm sorry for everybody.
Oh yeah, hold up. So are we literally just listening to this?
Yeah.
No, it's right there. Yeah, I know I always have it. I knew it. Okay, let's go back to you.
Got him, coach!
I also want to add that I'm making myself available to anyone that wants to reach out that I've heard in the past. I want to be able to hear and understand from yourselves, and I'll be reaching out on my own to some people because I still have a lot of learning to do, and I think when you talk to other people, especially about experiences like this, it really helps you see things in a different way. But yeah, I'm sorry if this video was all over the place. I just wanted to sit and talk and ramble, and I really truly hope that someone can take something away from this experience, that another creator can take away from this. And I know it feels, because I know how crazy it felt to me that there was some sort of toxicity or some sort of power dynamic in my friend group. But really just take the moment, especially when creating content that you're trying to get viewership out of or you're trying to get laughs out of, like really take a moment and look at where the jokes end and where the feelings begin, because I think that's so incredibly important. Okay, I'll see you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Hello guys, it's me.
Okay, so we're back to, let me just make sure it's still recording. Okay, still is. Is it?
Yeah, it says stop recording right there.
I was just making sure, because you know how sometimes it'll just stop out of nowhere. So, what's your takeaway from all this?
I feel like that apology video shouldn't have came out just yet. I feel like he should have contacted the people first. That was like my first reaction. Like, why make an apology video and addressing everything? And if I were me in that situation, I would contact the person, like, instead of like, you know, in the dark or anything like that. But
I feel like all his apology videos, like the first one and this one, are just a desperation move. And he knows that if somebody took this to court or anything like that, he'd be an accessory. Wouldn't it be called that?
No, he wouldn't be an accessory. He would be like the manipulator.
No, but at the same time, it's considered accessory because he's the one that's there, like helping him.
Yes and no, but he's more like the Charles Manson.
Oh, like the manipulator.
Yeah, like even though he didn't commit the crime, he's the one who.
So he falls under like a Charles Manson category then?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I really just thought, he could be considered an accessory. I don't know how much time he would get in jail for it, but he would get jail time, right? For being an accessory to that type of crime.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And I think he would, would he be deported?
Yeah,
he is DACA.
It depends.
And
like
that
if it's a felony charge, yeah.
I think he would be deported if anything.
Yeah, that's a felony charge, right?
And he'd have to serve time in whatever country he get deported to, right?
Well, it depends. It depends on which state
country.
No. Oh.
Yeah, he's from another country. That's why he's DACA.
Yeah, but which state he lives.
Which state he lives? Why would that depend?
Because on different states, they have different terms. They either deport you or they just what do you call it? You stay here and do your time.
But not anymore, because remember, your friend that's in jail, he's instantly getting deported.
Well, not instantly. He's still doing time, and then he's going to be deported.
Yeah. Oh, and then once he's deported, no time, right? But would it be the same case with Nieves?
I don't know.
Because he has a crime here and a crime over there.
Oh, he's...
So if he were to quote unquote get deported over there, then he would have to. Wouldn't he have to serve the crime that he did that over there too?
I think so. Most likely. Most likely.
Okay, because when it comes to DACA, I really don't know a lot. I only know one person that's DACA. Or two, maybe. But I don't know, how it would work, in a criminal system. Because my brother, I'll give you another example. My brother, when he was here, he had a really bad accident where someone died. Even though my brother was in the passenger seat, he had to go to jail. And they put the blame on him. They said that he was the one that caused it. And someone died in that crash.
Oh my god. And
so my brother served time over there, here. And then he got deported, and that was it. He didn't serve time in El Salvador.
Yeah, most likely if you do the crime here...
you serve the time here and then you just go back to your country. Oh, okay.
It depends on the severity.
Yeah, it depends on the person, too, because if it's a criminal over here and over there, then...
Yeah. So, what else do we have today? Are you ready to move on? Or
yeah, we're going to move on, yeah. So
DoorDash!
Damn, let me say it. Damn, man. Just keep my fucking words out of my mouth. Steal them from me.
I will. You can't
suck them out.
You're the cancel culture.
I'm gonna cancel you.
Why?
I already have the stuff I can cancel you.
I feel like
I got screenshots.
Of what?
You know of what? You're over here thinking. You're like, what could he have on me? I love that.
I know. I'm like.
So yeah, today's episode, the continuation or whatever, we're gonna end it, I guess, because it's a long conversation we're gonna have. So we're doing DoorDash Chronicles. That'll be the second half of the video, the name title. It'll be David Dobrik and then DoorDash Chronicles, just so we can get some more views. Because we reached 100. We forgot to mention that.
Oh yeah, we reached 100.
We're at 100. Yeah. We're at 111, actually.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
thank you guys for listening.
Thank you, you 10 people, because it says our estimated audience is 10. So thank you, 10 people that have listened to us on repeat 10 times. 10 times 10, right? 100. But yeah, so...
We should celebrate. We should do something.
We're going to do the opening with the pack with 100 packs.
Oh, that's right.
We didn't buy them, but we'll get them. We'll get them eventually. Because I spent money on shoes, so...
We can go today and buy them.
The only thing is there's a huge... Actually, we should have looked that up. Maybe next episode. But there's a huge wave of people going to stores buying Pokemon packs and buying everything.
What?
There's people at Target limiting the amount of stuff people can buy. Yeah, there's a new set that came out called Shining Legends or something like that, and it's basically shiny cards. You know how a Pokemon in the game you can get a shiny?
Right.
It's that. There's a black Charizard.
Oh my god, that sounds awesome.
The shinies are cool as fuck.
He's gothic Charizard.
Yeah, it's Goth Charizard. And so everything's sold out, and I'm positive that dollar stores are going to be sold out too. I'm just considering it. I'm pretty sure it's going to be sold out.
We got to figure it out a way.
I mean, I'm going to go to one tomorrow, and if I find some, I'll buy them.
We can go today after our podcast. I'm free.
But I'm not a night driver.
I am. I'm driving.
I know you are, but we're in a kind of ghetto-ish area. You heard the gunshots the other day, bitch. Family Dollar here is not the safest at night times.
That reminds me. I was scrolling through Facebook and I seen this one meme said, which when you say ghetto Walmart, which one comes to mind?
It's the one over there on 45.
At West Road, right?
Yeah.
That's the first one.
Funnily enough, like that Walmart, dude. Whenever we used to go, like doing there's a video on YouTube called Space City Hunters. It's like me and my friends used to go to stores looking for action figures, and there's a scene where like, all right, where are we going, boys? Ghetto Walmart, all right. Yeah, we did that. But yeah, that place, like that was the first Walmart for me.
Really?
That was the first one I ever went to.
I think that was the only Walmart here.
I think so, because my mom, we would take the bus from Main Street, like North Main, you know, like little, like Central, like the terminal.
Yeah, the transit
We would
center.
take that and take the number 11 bus, and it would take us all the way over there. But we would sit like over an hour.
Over an hour for what?
To get to
Oh
Walmart.
yeah, to that one.
Yeah, to get to it from the bus. Like, you know how they take the streets and then like a little back area. Like, I remember the whole route still.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of times we went. I remember we bought my Christmas presents one time, and we had to cross underneath the freeway. And my mom was like, I don't want to go. And I was like, but I want Christmas. And like Toys R Us was on the other side of the street. And she's like, okay, let's go. And so we went, and I got
like, but before, carry me, Mom.
No,
I can picture her just like,
like me with the gifts in my hands and her carrying me.
like I like what comes to mind is like that picture of Lois when she had Chris. And like Chris is like all big as hell, and she's just like all like, you know, all messed up and whatnot, like exhausted.
Alright, let's just start the episode, like the continuation. So yeah, we're calling it DoorDash Chronicles because we both do DoorDash. Well, I haven't done it in a while. It's been.
No, I mean, we still do it. I mean, you can still consider
yeah,
yourself.
anytime I can do. Yeah, and I still know the fucking layouts and how to do it. And so yeah, I have an actual list of topics in my notebook that only I can read because I write like shit. My handwriting is disgusting. So we will start with. I don't know why you're looking down like that. What topic should I start with? Should we just go in order of the ones we were talking on the phone, or do you want me to like switch them?
Yeah, go for that. Hold on, let me silence this. This is annoying.
All right, let's start. Actually, speaking of gunshots.
Oh!
We'll start with this one. The sketchiest place you've ever done a DoorDash delivery.
Sketchiest place? I think it would be Fifth Ward.
Fifth Ward?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have a story, though, like, behind it?
I remember it was going... It was... I was delivering from... I can't remember. I
Maybe Dish Society?
No. No, it wasn't... It was from Louisiana or something.
Oh, Cajun. Mama something, right? Like
it's like right there on Cross Timbers.
Yeah, it's like a Cajun restaurant.
But like it's like a family store and restaurant. And it's like it has like a little whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so I remember I was delivering. It was like almost like nighttime.
Yeah.
And like on Liberty Road, or no, was it Liberty? No. So Quitman. Once you pass 59, and there's Quitman right there.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's like a little small section, just like a bunch of like activity going on, and then I was like, oh my god, I hope I don't have to like go through there, and sure enough, I had to deliver in that area.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, well, where do I go, right? So I had to park into that little parking lot, and like it was weird because like it was like a shopping center, but it wasn't a shopping center. It was just like abandoned lots with a lot of abandoned cars in there.
Okay.
It was weird. And I was like, and I called it. I was like, hey, I just want to make sure this is Kenneth, blah, blah, blah. You know, what's the name of the company or the house? And they're like, oh yeah, just pull up all the way back. You're going to see like a place where it's like, kind of like with broken windows, but before that there's like a little brick and mortar there, and I was like, oh my god, okay. So I was like, okay, I'll be there I'll be right there shortly. And I was like, do I leave my car parked in the street or do I actually go over there? And I was like, I kind of wanted to call the person, like, be like, hey, can you come outside? Like, I'll just hand you the food outside like through my window.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then as soon as I get off, I was like, after I mustered up the courage, I just went. I knocked on the door,
Was this the same night you sent me your location?
Yes, definitely.
Because that's the only reason we both have this. Like I have WhatsApp just to send him my locations whenever I'm somewhere sketchy. Like,
yeah.
As soon as I get a sketchy place, I'm like,
it's
like I'm over here on my phone. Send location. Send location. Like,
it's like an RSOS.
I think we were on the phone too, right? You're like, all right, Hurley, I'm gonna go drop this off. I'll be right back.
I'll put you on speaker and on mute. And like, next thing I remember I knocked, and then like they swing open the door. I was like, what the hell? And I tried not to flinch, and I just had the bag like that, and my hands were shaking. And like the guy, it smelled like straight up dope. Like.
But was this the one with the gun?
Yeah.
The same one, like he drew the gun on you, right?
Yeah.
Like he actually had it like pointed at you.
Yeah, because like it was like a gate. It was like a like
like the metal ones, like the doors, like they have a metal one and then it's a wooden door behind it, right?
Yeah, like that.
Okay, I know which ones you're talking about. Yeah.
So I had to like reach and I knocked, and the guy just opens the door and he had the gun out, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" Delivery for And the guy was just like holding the gun. Oh my bad, like and he's like, he pulls out some money and he hands me the money and gets the food, and he's like, have a blessed day. And I was like,
you too?
And I was just like, standing there, and I was like, and he's like, he just like,
like get out of here. Yeah. Oh God.
And I was like, God damn.
Is that the closest you've ever been to a gun?
No, definitely not. I think when I was younger, I think I went through a breakup. It was like the same day that I broke. This girl broke up with me, and I was hanging out with Regis, and we're walking.
That's the day you got robbed, right?
Yeah,
okay, that's another one.
Yeah, we got mugged.
We gotta save that one for Regis podcast.
Yeah.
Like crazy shit that's happened to you with him. Like, there's always something weird that goes on with another person.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh shit, is he bad luck or is it me? Like, it's always us two, something bad happens. Alright, so I'll give you my sketchiest. So, I remember I had to pick up from BB's. Like the seafood. And I was like, it wasn't the best order, but I was like, okay, they're paying me $10 for 9 miles. They might pay me a little bit more. I was super optimistic. And I was like, all right, let me take the streets. And I went all the way down Antoine. I remember that. And then there was like an actual like dead end looking place. Like it was weird. And so I turned left and it took me to Long Point.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about.
So I was driving straight down Long Point. And the quote-unquote house or apartment was right there. So I park. I'm like, okay, it'll be it'll be right here in the front of these like front apartments. And I locked the door. Actually, my truck turned off as soon as I got there too.
Ooh.
And so it turned on. It turned on. I parked. And I was like, all right, let me walk through here. There's a gate. It's completely open. That's not sketchy. And so I walk in and this lady's like, what's up? I was like, nothing. And she's like, DoorDash? I was like, yeah, DoorDash. And she's like, no, DoorDash. And she does like the Undertaker thing. And I was like, the fuck? Like in my mind, I was like, what does she mean by that?
She's like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna slash her.
I instantly thought that. And I was like, do you know her apartment? She's like, not here. Like as soon as I told her, do you know where the apartment is? She's like, not here. And I was like, okay. So I walked left, and I'm on I hung up with you, right? And you're like, get WhatsApp so you can send me your location. I was like, probably after this. You're like, no, you should get it now. Like, you were really scared for me. And so I walk left. I'm talking to the owner, and she's like, where are you? Are you in your car? I was like, no, I'm walking. And she's like, well, we're all the way in the back by the dumpsters. And I was like,
that is super sketchy.
Hold up. So I was walking, and I see a set of dumpsters, and I'm like, hey, I'm here in front of the dumpster. She's like, not those, the ones on the right side of the complex. And I was like, oh, okay. So I keep walking. And I run into her. She actually walks part of the way there, and she's like, oh, thank you so much. And I was like, okay, let me complete delivery, blah, blah, blah. And then when I saw the thing, it said, you got paid $10 for 9 months. And then, not just that, it literally said, tip $0.00. So it was all base pay. I did not get a tip. I turn around. I see a group of like 4 people walking, and I'm like, oh crap, there's Latinos. And so I stayed close to them, and then like a little bit later they turn left, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go straight, not left. So I keep going. And as soon as I get into the truck, I call you and I'm like, bro, this has been the worst fucking one. And you're like, what do you mean? I was like, this one sucks, bro. Like, I thought I was gonna die. And the thing was, I don't dress too great for the podcast or whatever, but when I do DoorDash, I try to wear, like, decent enough clothes, right? So I had on, like, this, my Jordans, like, my ones, these yellow and gold and white ones that, like, super, like, beautiful. And I was like, okay, these are $100 shoes. Like,
and you
like,
barely got them that day.
I was like, these are $200 shoes. They might, like, something might happen if someone looks down and like, I like them, you know?
What shoe size is that?
Yeah, like, what shoe size is that?
My size.
Right? And I also had I had just bought my new iPhone. I was like, okay, so this is $600 in my hand. I was like, this is $600 in my hand. And I also had just bought my AirPods that were like $120. I was like, huh. So far I got $920 worth of shit just on me. Like, if someone were to notice and they want it, I'm not gonna fight it. You know, like, I'm like, hey, I thought.
Oh my god, that's wild. Wow, no tip whatsoever. That's
sucked
like
ass,
icing
bro.
on the cake.
That sucked ass. I was like, why? Like, why did I go through that?
All right, what's
I'm
next?
just Xing it off. All right, next one I want to go with.
Can I pick randomly?
Yeah, go for it.
That one.
It says worst order payout / mismatch. It looks like shit, but yeah, worst order payout / mismatch.
All right, I picked the bottom one, but okay, let's do
Oh,
that
you
one.
want to do that one then?
Let's do that one.
All right.
You already called it out.
That's what you want like that.
I went this right here.
Then we'll do with this one then.
No, let's do this
fuck
one.
you, bitch. So, most compliments received.
Okay. Do you want to go first since I started the other one?
Yeah, sure. I don't really get a lot of compliments. They look at me like I'm a monster. So, whenever I do, I remember it. And this is probably my favorite one. I picked up food from that It's not really a bakery, but it's like right next to Genia.
Oh,
Common Bond.
Yeah.
I got an order from Common Bond, and it sent me to downtown.
Damn, we should be sponsored by all these restaurants.
Right? And so it sent me downtown to this, like, another ramen place, surprisingly enough. It was like, and I parked in the front, like, by a meter, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta hurry up. And so I go, and I walk in there, and there's, like, this really, really cute Asian girl, and she's like, I love your shirt. And I was like, oh, thank you, here's your order, and I just walked out. But I still remember, because I was wearing a My Hero Academia. And she's like, I love your shirt. And I just fucking, like, I was like, damn, I should have.
You have a My Hero Academia?
Yeah, I have one.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I wore it every once. Like, I've only worn it once that day.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other one, the other shirt.
No, that's like, the compliment for that one was probably my favorite because it was a cute Asian girl. Like, that's all that mattered for me that day.
And what's the other one?
The other one is, I have a Michael Myers shirt that I wear a fuck ton. And the only reason I wear it a lot is because people are always like, bro, I fucking love that shirt. Like, I remember at Ricebox, the first time I wore it, like, all the guys looked at me like, sick shirt, bro. Like, every single one, they're like, fucking sick. Like, it was so funny. Like, the blonde guy with, like, the long hair, he's like, bro, that shirt's fucking sick. Is that tarot cards? I was like, huh? And he's like, tarot cards. And, like, he looked down, like, I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. And I was like, oh, you mean tarot cards? He's like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, that's it. Fucking sick, bro.
It almost sounded like he was saying terror cards.
Terror, like T-A-R-O-T.
Like
Tarot.
scared.
Yeah, but it's tarot, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of my favorite days because it's just funny walking into one place and having everyone go like, bro, check out his shirt. Sick. Like, everyone did it. Like, all the guys on the counter just went, dude, look at the shirt. Sick. Like, it's like just a group of dudes doing that.
Hey, yo, Mike in the back. Check out his shirt. Sick.
As soon as one of them returned from giving orders, like, hey, look at the shirt. Sick.
That should be like a little skit, like, for real.
But yeah, that was probably my favorite one. Because that Michael Myers shirt gets love, bro. Like, everywhere. No matter where I go, they're like, love the shirt. Or, like, girls, too, they're like, oh my god, I love Michael Myers. At Chilosos, I've gotten it. At Petco, I've gotten it because I delivered at a Petco.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at Champions, I got it. At the fucking eye center where I got my glasses, lady's like, I love your shirt. Like, non-stop. Everyone loves it.
Yeah, he's such an iconic character.
It is, but then, like, the design of it, too, like, it just looks really cool. Like, it's on the bottom, it says the Boogeyman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a really cool shirt. Got it at Hot Topic. Code banana to get 10% off your order.
That's not a bad. Damn, like imagine when we start getting sponsors.
If we get sponsors, I get Hot Topic, I'd be happy because I buy nothing. Like all the shirts I buy are from them. Like all those stacks you see over there, that's Hot Topic mostly. There's a few Walmarts, but mostly Hot Topic.
Wow.
Yeah. So your compliments.
So my compliments, there's two instances. Like the first one was like I don't know. I think it was on Halloween Day or something like that.
Is it the day that we brought up on the previous podcast?
Yeah, it was
Okay,
that one,
yeah,
but
okay.
I'm not gonna repeat it.
No, you don't. You can say it like what you were wearing and stuff. I wasn't jealous.
No, I know, but it's just like it gets kind of repetitive.
All right.
But for our new listeners, I'm like I was wearing. Like,
It was the day he pulled dick.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was the day he pulled dick.
Well, yeah, I was dressed nice, whatever, blah blah.
I want to just do a little side conversation. I was like, "Have you ever pulled dick before?" You're like, "Hell yeah!" Because we're on the phone a lot, like constantly while doing DoorDash, and I was just like, "Have you ever pulled dick before?" You just go, "Hell yeah!" I'm like, all proud.
Like most of our conversations could have been like podcast.
I know,
material.
honestly, we have like a way to. We have a way if we just use Anchor and use like a connection.
Yeah,
Like it's just a phone call.
the only thing that would be kind of annoying is like, oh, hold on, let me.
We just pause.
We're gonna deliver.
Yeah, we literally just pause the podcast.
And then we'll be, what were we talking about?
Yeah, so you got the compliment from the guy.
It was like the most like it's usually like those people that are like treat you bad or whatever, or they're like, all right, come on, get out, or like I'll be right with you in one moment or whatever, and you're waiting and waiting, and then they help other people that are like dashers, and then they come and help you last,
And they're like, "What do you need?"
Yeah. But yeah, like those were the ones that ended up like complimenting me like the most. I was like, what the hell? Like it was funny because like he wanted to be my friend because like he was like, "Whoa, look at that coat," and I was like, flexing it. Neiman Marcus and whatever, and he got the boots too and everything, and like the guy's like, so he's like, "Yes, you look so like." Oh,
No, the funny thing is, you're like, as soon as I walked in, it's like, "Yes, yes,
like
power."
He's like savage, like it's
Yes.
like yeah. And he's like so aggressive. I love it. Whatever you're doing, yes. And like after he gave me the food, he's like, "So, where are you going? Are you going to a party or what? What are you doing?"
You're like, "I just want to dress nice."
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, so you're just dressed like that." Anyways, so and the second time was like when I was wearing this mask. It was like a biker mask or something. It's like all leather, and it had like spikes.
You know you got
Like the
leather
studs.
vest.
No, it wasn't. Like, imagine if I wore that mask and the dog collar.
So yeah, Kenneth just got canceled.
Wow, I thought you.
I know, that's all I'm saying. Don't worry about it.
Now they're gonna
There's
open
editing.
up. Okay.
There's editing. I'll be sure to edit it out, but keep the original file. I'll keep some dirt on you. That's all I can do. You know what I can actually do on the editing software? I can extract audio. So I can just save that forever and use it like whenever I want. Like just have it on repeat, just you saying it.
And next thing you know, I'm gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna say that word.
But I don't need it because I already have it in one time.
Okay, so this guy. What was I even talking about?
Oh,
Like
your compliments. Like, you know how that he's from the culture that can cancel you? It's the compliments he gave you.
Oh, like
I just love that you're like a light bulb. Like you're like, oh. So yeah, the compliments.
So yeah, he was saying like that my mask was like it was like brutal as hell and whatnot.
Just go.
Because it was like leather
Just
and
roll.
it had
Just keep rolling.
spikes and
I'm
whatnot.
enjoying myself. Right
And like yeah, everywhere I went, they were like, "Oh, that's nice, that's badass."
yeah, that was your new COVID mask.
Yeah.
Do you want to just move on?
Yeah, move on.
But there was actually another thing when you wore the coat. I remember you were like, "Man, the girls at Chilosco's are like really looking at me." Like you were really like happy, you know. Like I wasn't jealous, you know, but I wasn't canceled, but you know.
You wasn't canceled.
I wasn't canceled. Alright, so let me pick. Just look back here.
Oh,
I'll save that one. I'll go with this one. The longest you've had to wait for an order.
Oh, I'm not gonna say their name, like the restaurant.
T?
No.
I should have put what restaurants are on your shit list. That's a good one too.
It's B.
B. Burger King?
No. It is a burger place. Oh no, it's a barbecue place. It's
Jenny's Barbecue?
No, it's a barbecue place. I can't remember, but I remember it was like my second day of doing DoorDash, and I didn't know anything about the rules. I didn't know how to unassign or anything like that. But I remember I showed up. It's because like I used to do Uber Eats before, and like you call and be like, hey, blah 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 blah, and they're like, oh yeah, and they compensate you for the time you wait. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna call like after I get the food and like see if I get compensated. Hell no. I waited about like I want to say like 2 hours on that food.
Damn, that long?
Yeah, I didn't know how to unassign, and I didn't know like the rules of like how, like your percentage.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that sucks.
Exactly. I was waiting there, and I was telling the girl like, hey, can you like tell them that this order's been like 30 minutes, and like I kept telling them, and like whatever, and then like the guys were like telling me like, hey, I understand we're taking for like our time, and there's like my phone was like blowing up because like the customer.
I thought this was our.
Huh?
Like where I said they were like, damn, like cool shirt.
Because
you take a long time there too.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I remember after they gave, yeah, it was just like me telling them, and I talked to the managers, I talked to like and I was like, hey, I really need this food. I don't want to like
I thought of another topic. I'm just gonna write it down while you're at it.
And yeah, so pretty much I didn't get tipped when I got there to go deliver. Like they weren't even answering the door. There were nothing. I had to like
because it was 2 hours. I'm pretty sure they were like, well,
yeah,
let's just go out and get our shit because these guys aren't bringing it.
Yeah, I mean, at least I got paid for it. And I also got free soda from the restaurant there.
You sound like a kid.
I know.
I got free soda. I waited 2 hours.
And they're like, here you go.
Here you go, dumbass.
They gave me like two or three cans of soda.
I remember the longest. There's a couple of them actually. Now that I think about it, but two of the worst. One, there's this pizza place on Antoine. I don't know the name. All I remember is that I went in there because it was $9 2 miles. And I was like, okay, I'll be in here. And I go in there and I'm like, hey, I'm here to pick up it'll be a minute. I'm like, okay, do you know how long? Like 10 minutes. So I go and I sit down, and I remember I started listening to just music. And then I like, as the time keeps going, I'm like, he said 10 minutes how long ago now? And I look down and I'm like, oh shit, it's been an hour. I was like, I've been sitting here for an hour waiting on this, but the pay is so good, I don't want to miss it. But at the same time, it was a peak pay. So I could have gotten more money just like leaving and canceling. Yeah, just leaving and canceling. But I was like, I'll wait. After like an hour and 30 minutes, like they were like, oh, here's your stuff, and it was like pizza and wings that I had to go drop off. But I got paid $15 that day.
Oh, nice.
So I didn't like lose. It could have been worse. Like it was only the $9. I would have been like, but I remember one time too, where I was like, oh, I remember now. It was at that restaurant that's over there by. What's the name? Los Cucos, right? No, not Los Cucos. It's like a Mexican restaurant. It's like right there near that Jason's Deli and Chilosos. I mean, not Chilosos, and Chipotle. Like right there by 249. There's a FedEx next to it. I forget the name of it.
249.
I mean 290. 290. There's like a FedEx. There's like a mattress store. Like a bunch of weird stuff in that little area. It's like a little kiosk.
I don't think I remember that place.
What's the name? It's like a restaurant that always fucks up the orders.
Does it start with the F?
I think it's Los Cucos or Los some shit. It's a Spanish restaurant. Mexican.
I don't remember.
But anyways, I remember it was the night that they were doing really, really good pays. And it was one of my final orders. And
oh, I hate when that happens. When it's like really good pays and they...
And it was one of my final orders. And I'm sitting there. And there's like 3 guys that walk in after me. And they're also doing DoorDash, and like I'm talking to them, I was like, "Hey, do you guys have that pause glitch on your blah blah blah?" And they're like, "Oh no, we're good." And I was like, oh man, I keep having that problem, blah blah blah. And then like I noticed that an hour and a half passes, and I'm like, hey, any news on the food? And they're like, oh, customer canceled. I was like, what the fuck? And so I go and I talk to DoorDash. And I'm like, oh, we are sorry, sir. We apologize for this. We will pay you half. And I was like, why didn't you guys tell me? Because apparently it got canceled like a little bit before, like an hour of my wait in.
Mm-hmm.
I just never fucking noticed.
Jesus, that's upsetting, man.
Beyond upsetting. I was fucking
somebody.
pissed off, man. That was like the worst thing. But yeah, that was the worst one. Like I've had to wait. Then also Walmart orders kind of suck.
I know.
Like one of the ones I took a long ass
I've done one in a Walmart order.
But unexpectedly at Walmart, if you go during Christmas time, they give you gift cards. They gave me a $25 gift card.
Wait, you dashed during Christmas?
Like no, not during Christmas, but like around the holidays.
Really?
Yeah, they gave me.
Yeah,
I remember I told you I was
me.
like they gave me a gift card. It was $25. I didn't even know. I just used it the other day and I was like, what? $25? Dope. Like I just bought shit. Like
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I would buy groceries with that.
Alright, if you want to pick random, there's a front and back.
All right, let's do that one.
The top one is your best day.
Oh, that was recently. I want to say that was like at the beginning of this month, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like behind on my rent, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna work 12 hours straight and whatnot. Oh no, I think it was 11 hours, and I got paid. I think $260 something dollars, 270.
So you blew me out of the water by like 90. No. 90. So you blew me almost $70.
Really?
Yeah.
What was your highest?
My best day ever, and I always look at it because it'll tell you on there like best day. I always look at it and I'm like, I'm gonna beat you one day. Like I know for a fact. Like that's in my mind, and it's here. Like it's one day that me and you were dashing. It was on a Friday, and I remember that morning I got $100, and then at night I got 90.
Oh, nice.
So I did 190 that Friday, and I was like, oh shit, I can make this kind of money if I just pull like all day, you know, like working. And it was like my normal schedule that I always do.
Uh-huh.
And since then, I've never been able to reach it because of bullshit. Like, because, you know, I always have problems with the app or like just...
Oh, right.
Like, it's just something wrong with the app for me. Like, it always cancels or like it doesn't cancel orders, but it'll like end my dash in the middle of a busy time. And then it'll be like, oh, just wait 10 minutes for the next dash. And it's like an hour later that I can finally start.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, fuck, this sucks.
That's happened to me once.
I hate it. Like, it happens to me multiple times.
Damn, that's awesome, though.
Yeah, that was a really good day. I was happy. So the recent topic, actually, that I want to talk about was scam that you've had happen to you.
Oh,
that one was something that just came to my head.
That was kind of creepy. So I went to go pick up some food from this one place, favorite place. No, it's not my favorite place to go pick up.
Favorite place.
But yeah, it like I think it was from Rice Box where I was picking up. And I noticed that, like, you know, oh, this guy has the same name as me. And
okay.
like, it has the same, like, last middle.
Kenneth M?
Yeah.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, you know, that's pretty cool. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go show up and, like, you know, say, like, hey, what's up? Like, you know. And then, I get, like, a weird, well, I drive up to the place, and, like, it's a weird, what is it? Address?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I couldn't find it, and I was like, okay, well, let me call this person.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, my phone started ringing, like my own, like
your actual number.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, wait, what the hell? Like, because it answers like, hi, thank you for calling 24-hour T-shirt.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what the hell? What's going on?
They
and,
put
like,
your own phone on it?
Yeah.
What?
It was my own phone number. I was like, what the hell? And I was like, it's probably a glitch. So I reset my phone.
You called DoorDash? Mm-hmm.
And then I called again. Hi, thank you for calling 24-hour T. I was like, what is going on? So I call, and they're like, okay, let me call the person.
And they call you?
Yeah.
Hi. How did they do that?
I don't know.
How did they get your number? That's weird.
I don't know. I really don't know. And it was wild. And I was like, you know, I was like, what the hell? And they're like, oh, I think this is like a scam. They told me like that they were like DoorDash was saying something was scam. Like, you know, they figured out a way, or they're figuring out a way
like
to hack
do that. To get your number. So what happened? You just kept the food and got paid?
Oh yeah, they were like, oh yeah, we were gonna cancel it. As soon as I heard that complete order, that's when I put.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I still remember my scam because it happened twice, and like the first time it pisses me off because it was like a nice home. Like, you know, the brand new ones they build are like gated community, enter code this and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, okay, leave the package on the left side of the building. I do that. There's like a little door with their number on it. I do it, take a picture, send it to them, complete order. And then I never received my item.
Oh my god.
And I was like, I called DoorDash and I was like, hey, this thing says you guys, this person never received their item, but it's not true. I have a picture of it. I sent it to them. And they're like, oh, we're just going to review it, but don't worry about it. I thought they were going to like cancel my shit. Like,
wow.
And then the second time, I remember it was a double dash. I had an order for Popeyes and an order for, what was it? It was Popeyes and Wingstop, right there on Airline, like that little like area.
Yeah, like that's a sketchy. That's
very sketchy. And so I remember I got the Popeyes, and then I went to Wingstop, and I told the people, like, hey, we don't have rolls, and I was like, rolls? What the fuck is that? And they're like, yeah, we don't have. They're like, we don't have rolls. Call them and see if they want cinnamon. Like cinnamon squares or something. And so I called, no answer. I called, no answer, and I texted, no answer. They're like, you have to confirm with the... Like, I told them, I was like, just give me the fucking cinnamon. I want to leave. And the girl, she was like a Cuban or like, I don't know, she'd like Latino. And she was like, you have to confirm with the customer before we can give you the stuff. And I was like, but they're not answering. And she's like, give it a few minutes. So 10 minutes later, I get a call from the Popeyes guy, because like I was delivering to someone like a Popeyes order. And he's like, hey, are you coming to drop off the stuff? I was like, yeah, I'm just here at Wingstop, and they're taking their time. And the guy's like, oh, okay, I thought you weren't going to drop it off. And so as soon as I hang up with him, I'm like, just give me the rolls, I'm getting out of here. And so I go, and I drop off to the Popeyes guy, and he's like, oh, thank you so much, I actually thought you weren't coming. I was like, no, it's the Wingstop order, bro, I'm sorry. And he was a nice kid, and like, he was a really sketchy area. I was like, oh shit, but he was waiting for me outside already. So I didn't have to worry. And then I drove to the Wingstop guy, which is right there, like near like 34th on the train tracks. You know, like those little sketchy areas, like.
Oh yeah.
Like in that spot. And so I go and I call the number to tell them that I'm there. And there's like a big dude like standing out there, like a fat dude. I think he was bigger than me, black guy. And he's like, I was like, hey, are you this? And he's like, oh yeah, it's me. And I was like, okay, here's your order. And I was like, hey, they said they didn't have cinnamon rolls. I mean, they didn't have rolls, so they gave me cinnamon rolls. Is that cool? And he's like, oh yeah, that's fine. And he takes it, walks in. And then as soon as I leave, it says, customer did not receive order.
Oh, that's upsetting.
And I called them, and I was like, I handed the food to them. And it even, like, they even have records of my messages where I was like, hey, they're going to give me cinnamon rolls instead of this, blah, blah, blah. And the lady's like, oh my god, it says on here that you gave them cinnamon rolls.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why would they even try to scam you? Like, it's right there. There's proof. And I was like, I don't know, but I did deliver. I know for a fact I did. And she's like, okay, don't worry about it. I was like, dude, this is bullshit. Like, why would they do this?
That reminds me of that meme on Facebook where it's like, somebody getting, like, it's like a chat, and it's like a guy, it's like a picture of a guy, like, you know, walking into his home with
the food in his hand.
Yeah, and it says like, why did DoorDash send me a picture of me? Like,
what the fuck?
It's for proof.
Yeah, it has to be.
There's this other time when I got scammed, or they were trying to scam me.
Yeah.
It was like when I picked up from Dish Society, and then I went to go deliver right there. It was like somewhere in Montrose, and as soon as I delivered, not even I think it was like 5 minutes later, I get a text message. It was like a picture of like the container. It says, yo man, what is this shit? And I was like, what the hell? And the container was empty. It had grits, but like you could tell someone
took it out. Yeah, they scooped it out.
And I was like, I'm not gonna respond to this bullshit.
Wasn't there another one also where you're getting calls from the customer over and over again? Like it was an order, like a fuck up order, and they kept calling you over and over, and you're like, bro, what the fuck? Like, you remember that?
Yeah.
We were on the phone. I remember that you were like, yeah, they told me this address, and it was another one, so I just put complete delivery, and I left, and they've been calling me this whole time.
Yeah, and they kept texting me and whatnot. But like the address was like 10 miles difference. I was like, hell no, I'm not driving that far.
I mean, for me, I've only done it once where it's like a fuck up order, and I do go to the address because it was literally a mile away. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go drop off. And then the DoorDash people were like, we can't compensate you for that. I'm like, yeah, but I still did your job, even though like you guys put on the wrong info, blah blah blah. And they're like, no, we can't compensate you because it was outside of the area. I was like, how's it outside of the area if I get orders here all the time? Like I'm like, in this area is where I get my orders, and they're like, it's still out of the area, so we can't compensate you. And it's fucked up because like they had just hung up with the customer and they had told her, we canceled your order, we're gonna resend it to you.
Oh my fucking.
And as soon as I got there and I entered the code and everything, and I was like, hi, here's your food. She's like, thank you. Like all sad looking. I was like, oh okay, bye. And she was like, thank you so much. I was so hungry. So I'm gonna hit you with another one. The best tip ever.
Oh my god. The best tip ever. I remember.
And not mine, alright?
That's funny. I remember. I forgot I had something done. Like I had to do something in the morning, and so I was like in a bad mood because like it was like a bad. Like it was a bad start. I think it was like my transmission blew out or something like that. I can't remember.
So you still kept working that day?
Mm-hmm. No, wait, no, it wasn't that day. No,
I think it might have been the days before, no? Because, like, but then how did you keep dashing?
No, something happened. Oh, I think it was a flat tire.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
I know you continue even if it's something, like, fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've seen you do that before, so I was like, oh, maybe it's this.
Yeah, so I had a flat tire anyways, and I was like, oh, man, I'm like, throughout, like, I was, like, thinking, man, this whole... I missed like 3 hours of work, this and that, because like whatnot. And so I get this one order, and it was like 2 miles. It was like 2 miles, $8.50, and I was like, I'm not gonna take it. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna take it. And then next thing you know, like it was like from this cheese place, like very fancy stuff.
Cheese Maids, right, or something.
The
like that?
Houston Dairy Maids.
Dairy Maids.
And I was like, oh, the lady was like, here, be very careful with this. And she hands me like a note. Like, you know, it was like a postcard, like handwritten. It says, delivered to this place. Make sure that the person doesn't see you.
I wish they would have treated me like that when I got an order from them. Because as soon as I got in there, they treated me like I was a dumbass. They were like, make sure that you keep the cheese plate balanced. I was like, okay. They're like, don't be wobbling it. Just keep it straight. I was like, all right. Like, they just treat me like shit. I was like, what? I know what I'm doing.
They happened to me recently.
I hate being treated like that.
Because it was a cheese tray.
They did the same thing, yeah.
And so, yeah. So the note says, like, you know, deliver it. Make sure the person that lives there doesn't, like, you know. And I was like, what the hell am I doing? This is like some creepy, sketchy.
No, you called me and you're like, bro, I feel like I just came out of James Bond.
Yeah, James Bond. I was like, what the hell? So
you hear the ding ding ding.
Yeah. And so I remember I parked outside and like I see the lady come out and I was like, you know, I pretended to be on my phone and whatnot. And like she goes in and I'm like hurrying up and like I put the food on the thing, take a picture, send it, and you won't believe what I see when I swiped right to complete order.
What was it?
$31 tip.
Nice.
I think it was 31
or complete.
No, $31.
Oh,
tip.
with the tip only then.
That's just tip.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a birthday present to his daughter.
Nice.
And it was like $1,000 worth of stuff.
Like wine and stuff.
Wine
right? Like
and
fancy
cheese.
shit. Yeah, it was fancy stuff.
And yeah, and he sent me a text message. Hey, thank you for doing this. It's also my birthday, and I just wanted to spread the love.
Okay.
I was like, when I looked down and it said 40 something dollars, I was like, oh my god. I couldn't believe it.
Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah, for like 15 minutes.
I was like, I think I got him. Like, because I always try to beat you. Like, because I my best tip, I still remember. It was at an architecture firm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember because this day was a good day and a bad day. Like, I was so mad because it was really early in the morning. It was like 7 o'clock. And I got a big order from Dish Society. Like, it was 2 bags and, like, big ones. Like, you know, with, like, the tray stacked.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, let me go in here. And it's a building I've delivered to before. And it's a really fancy building. It's like there's a bank there, like like one of those, like, big banks, but, like, you know, not well known. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a bank that, you know, does a shit ton of, like, transactions, but it's only for, like, the uber rich. Like, it looks like that. And so I went in there, and I go upstairs, and they're like, oh, call when you're in the elevator. And I call, and they're like, hey, you're going to come in through this entrance, not the one that you're supposed to go to. And this lady's like, Jose? And I was like, yeah, that's me. She's like, okay, come here. And so I had to follow her to, like, through a back entrance. She's like, okay, you can leave all that on the table. I was like, all right. And so I walk out, and I put complete order on the elevator, and I look down, and I'm like, holy shit, they just paid me $45.
Oh my god.
Like, total, though. It was like the whole order, right? It was $45. I was like, the fuck is this? Like, I didn't even know. And in that morning, I did a double dash, so it was that, and another order that was like, I think like, they paid me $12. I was like, damn, I already have fucking 50 something, and I just started. Like, I thought that instantly. I was like, damn, I'm halfway through my fucking quota, like of my what I want to do. And we were talking on the phone, and then next thing I know, the fucking app just goes, dash ended. Wait another hour to start.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I got so mad, bro, because after that there was no orders.
Mm-hmm.
Like at 10:30, there wasn't shit. And then, like, I was like, so I have to wait another whole fucking hour to just go and put Dash now when it's busy.
Yeah.
I got so mad.
Wow.
But yeah, $45 was my full pay for that one.
No, you beat me there by $3.
No, but, like, it might have been 41 or 45, but it must have been something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, shit. Like, as soon as I saw it, I was so happy. Like, it was a good day.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
What's next?
Oh, this one. The worst payout mismatch you've ever had. Like, the most miles you've driven, and you've gotten paid the least.
I remember the most miles I've driven. Oh, it was recent. It wasn't like the most miles, but I remember it was like a peak pay of like $5 plus 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up from it was a Mexican restaurant. I think it was called Indio something.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up. It said 8 miles, $17.
Okay.
And I was
damn,
like,
that's crazy.
I know. I should have screenshotted it. And I was like, nah, why would I screenshot it? I was like, yeah, it's whatever. And then like, because usually when it's like big orders, I always
you screenshot and send, or you just screenshot and keep them saved.
And so I go and pick up the food. I go deliver, and then as soon as I click,
Complete. Mm-hmm.
It says $8. I think it was $8 or $7, and I was like, "What the fuck happened?" And I'm like, I called DoorDash. Oh yeah, there was a glitch in the system. Blah blah blah. I was like, but it said 17. Oh, do you have proof that it said that?
Oh, you fucked up.
Yeah, and I was like,
you motherfuckers. I would have been like, you motherfuckers. I would have been so mad.
Yeah, I was
damn.
Like, I was like, man. And I was like, trying to explain to them, like, I really want the compensation. I can't do it. And I'm like, what if, okay, let's put it this way. DoorDash hires you for like, $17 an hour, and you work your, and you see your check and it says $8 an hour. What would you say then? I understand.
I am sorry, said I understand. Oh, we could talk about that. The most mad you've ever been at customer service. We could talk about that.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I understand." I just like hung up. I was just like, "Well, I mean, what can you do? Just move on." And
I truly feel this, but I think DoorDash is the reason why my rage comes out easier now. Because I used to be, I'm very calm. Like I consider myself a gentle giant.
Not even.
Like I am very calm. Like I'm not violent. Like as in, dude, high school me, was I violent?
Not really.
I was a pussy fest instead of a pacifist.
That's funny.
But yeah, I never did anything. I never wanted to fight. I never got into arguments. I never yelled at anybody.
No, arguments, hell yeah.
No, but yelling,
yes.
No, but like nasty, like with someone that doesn't even know me.
Oh, okay.
Like if you know me, of course. But if you don't know me, I'm super quiet. Like I'm introvert as fuck.
Yeah,
and so
I agree with
whenever
that.
I'm with DoorDash customer service, I just go off on them. I'm like, you fucking asshole! You getting paid you 3 fucking rupees an hour. Get the fuck out of here. Do your fucking job. What the hell is this? Fix your fucking piece of shit app. Like I tell them that constantly. Every time we talk, I'm like, I am sick of this. I'm gonna go work for fucking Uber. Fuck you. Like I do that and hang up.
You're gonna get canceled.
I don't give a shit. Fuck DoorDash, bro. Like fuck their customer service. It's like the worst ever.
Yeah, it's nothing like
it's
like
so
Uber.
shit. Like you're supposed to be like compensating your drivers for what they do, or at least fix the problems for that app. Because I always get my dashes ended early. And one time I remember the first time it happened, they were like, "Oh, okay, don't worry, just wait 30 minutes. We have it in the system for you to dash." After that, they've never done it since. Like not once since then. They haven't been like, "Oh, yeah, sure, just wait 30 minutes and we'll have your dash scheduled for you." Like there's a way for them to do it, but they don't want to.
I know, there has to be.
There has to be a way for them to put on the system, okay, start this dasher in 30 minutes.
Or maybe they don't have the
want
power.
to. No, they just don't want to do it. I'm positive. Because they did that the first time. Like, I called them and was like, hey, this sucks because I just started dashing and it gave me the wrong area. and like because I started dashing on North Side North Line, but it gave me North Houston. And I know for a fact it said North Side North Line on my thing, and they kept giving me North Houston orders. I was like, what the? Why is it sending me back home?
Uh-huh.
And I ended it, and I called them, and I was like, hey, so I scheduled North Side North Line, but you guys kept giving me North Houston, and they're like, oh, okay, just wait 30 minutes, and we'll have you on the schedule for North Side North Line. The first time it ever happened, and after that, not once have I had that happen to me.
They didn't. So they helped you.
Yeah, they helped me get back in. So since then, I've had high standards for that person, but everyone's been shit. Like everyone's been awful. Like I'm like, why did that one person help me?
You should be like, oh, okay, what's your name again? Blah, blah, blah. How, do you have like an extension number?
I should fuck with them like that, right? Because my God, bro, like I tell them, how would you feel if it just kills your day?
Oh hell yeah!
Like I'm like, I just started. You end my dash after 2 of them. And you just killed my morning. And I'm like, my mornings are sometimes my best times. Like, I do the most in the morning, and at night I do a little bit. And they're like, oh, we're sorry, sir. We understand, but there's nothing that DoorDash can do. And then I was like, okay, but right now it says you're busy in Northside North Line, but it doesn't let me start. Oh, we understand. Just give it a few minutes, and it should work. And I call him back. Hey, it's still not working. Oh, there's a glitch in the system, blah, blah, blah. And I waited for fucking 2 hours, and nothing. Sometimes I just go home and I'm like, fuck it, I'll just do the night shift. Because they piss me the fuck off. I hate it.
They're like, the customer or like the problem solving skills are like lacking.
Shit. Like, that's all it is.
I feel like if they like, if you put like Ubers, or if they got trained by Uber, or like if they fix that.
But is Uber also like Indians? Like, not trying to be racist, but like.
Yeah, they're foreigners.
They're also foreigners, okay? Because like it's mostly Indians that I talk to. That's why.
There's different because I've gotten from different nationalities. Like you could tell they have because they have like a really thick accent, all the way even to French.
Oh wow!
Like French and African.
But on Uber or DoorDash?
Uber Eats.
Okay, because that makes sense because they fucking care. But DoorDash doesn't give a fuck. They want to pay like the 3 rupees an hour and end it there. So let me go with my mismatch. I just went off on a rant. But my worst one was here in North Houston. It was a nighttime order from a Thai place. And I was like, okay, let me see what it is. And it said $20, 20 miles. I was like, it's $1 per mile, but then on coming back, I'm really not getting paid that amount. But at the same time, I was like, oh, but it might pay me more because, it says 20.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to fucking bite the bullet. Let's do it. And so I took it. I get to the place. I have to drive all the way down to Crosby, Texas. I'm in there, and I was like, oh, this is a rich area. Like, in my mind, right, I was like, this is going to be a rich area. It's going to be fucking sick. And I go, and I'm passing by it, and the neighborhood starts turning shitty. And I'm like, oh, fuck, it's not rich. Like, as soon as, I fucking get to a certain spot, and then I'm like, and I look at the house, I'm like, they're not rich. They're hardworking Americans. So I go, I drop off the food, and I'm like, complete order. Congratulations, you got paid $20, and it was all fucking
base pay.
It was base pay, and then their tip was $17.
Really?
Yeah, so it was a $17 tip, and they base paid me $3. Can you fucking believe that, bro? Like, it's such bullshit. That's why it wasn't even 20.
That makes me warm. Oh my
dude,
God.
That sucked, bro. It was like the worst. Like I was looking forward to getting paid good. I was like, this is gonna be rich. Funnily enough,
my blood pressure is spiking.
Funnily enough, that same night I got a Chili's order, and it was pretty big, but I didn't really pay attention. Like, you know how they tell you how much the order is, like $100 or some shit like that sometimes. And I was like, okay, whatever. And it sent me down like this neighborhood, like on Mesa, not Mesa, but like near it, like near that bank we went to, that Chase.
Oh yeah.
Well, actually, no, near the Walmart. But the opposite street going the other way. And I was like, man, this is going to fucking suck ass. And so it says gate code is this, and then it had a second one underneath. I was like, why does it have 2 gate codes? So I enter the first one, go and get inside the neighborhood, and then I go in, and there's a big-ass fucking gate. I'm like, the fuck is this? And so I entered the second gate code. I go in there, and I'm like, these houses are fucking huge. What the hell is this? And they were fucking, like, $700,000, $800,000 houses. Like, fucking rich. Like, really big. And I get there, I drop it off, and they pay me fucking $20-something. and it was like a 3-mile drive, 4-mile drive.
Wow.
It was just so hidden, and it was a Chili's order. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I didn't expect to get paid that well for nothing. Because I was already disappointed from the previous one.
Yeah.
From the 20 miles, I was like, I'm not gonna get paid that well.
So they made it up.
I made it up apparently because I chose the fucking thing. All right, there's a few left here on the first page. Oh, okay, this is the one that I wanted to kind of... The time you fucked up the most. Like, where you feel like, as a driver, you fucked up. Where you're like, man, I could have been more professional. Or, you know, like, anything like that.
Oh, well, I did fuck up, but it was technically no, it was not my fault, but at the same time it was. Because, like, I remember right when I was, like, I got an order from Genia. I think it was like, yeah, it was ramen. It was definitely like soup, and it was like 8 or 9 miles distance. And then it was like, I was right in the neighborhood, like two blocks away. A guy runs, what is it called?
Runs the light.
Stop sign.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I had to brake hard. So when I broke hard, I had the food in the back.
Oh,
straight down, and I was like, oh my god, like what do I do?
Why did you always? I always keep it in the front seat.
Yeah, but I had double orders.
So I always keep all my orders in the front seat. Every order I get,
it was big. Like,
yeah,
but
I've had that big ass fucking dish side order. It had 3 big bags. I just put 2 on the one on the bottom, 1 on the top, and then the side order was just in between.
Really?
Yeah, always keep everything in the front.
Oh, but I have to put it on the seat because I don't have, like, mine doesn't connect. Remember?
Yeah, but I don't use the middle. I just rest my arm on it.
Because because I remember putting it in the, because I remember when I first started, when I did Uber Eats, and I put it on the floor. It was the worst mistake ever because, like, when you brake, it
just moves.
It tips, or it just like.
I mean, technically, I'm saying this, and my fuck up came because of that too, like the seat position.
Yeah, because like
fucked me over.
The seat like that I have is inclined like that. But anyways, so yeah, I broke hard, and like thing fell, and I was like, I automatically picked it up, and I was like, oh, it shouldn't be mad. It shouldn't be that bad. I picked it up. All you see is just like the whole broth in the bag, and I'm like, oh my god, what do I do in this situation? Hey, I dialed the person. I was like, hey, like I'm a few blocks away. This is some guy ran through the stop sign, and yeah, I have your food, but it tipped over and whatnot. I was like, hey, I'm trying to contact DoorDash so they can cancel it and they can send you a new one. And and the guy was like, no, it's cool. I was like, no, like for real, like, you know. And the guy's like, no, just bring it and whatnot. And I was like, okay. And like, so I go and deliver it, right? And the guy sees it. He's like, I'll just make a hole and just like squeeze it up.
So you had a cool customer.
Yeah. And I was like, man, I should have canceled it. Like, you know.
Yeah, you should have called and told them.
Yeah. And I feel that's where I fucked up. And the worst part was like when I hit, like, you know, deliver, it was like a $17 tip.
Oh man, we're similar then. We're very similar.
I was like, oh my god, like, yeah, because it was after like what happened.
It's very similar, yeah. Because my story, he was there in person, like not in person, but he was on the phone. Yeah, so he heard the whole thing that happened. So I got an order from a Thai restaurant. It's the one right there on North Main next to Whataburger. And it was 2 bags, and they had like the little soup, right? Like it's a bunch of different things. I don't know what it was, but I forget the name. But it was just a bunch of like that, like the clear like containers. And so I put it in the front seat. I'm driving. This asshole cuts me off on the freeway on 45 because I had to drive 45, then 288, and then 610 going, like, it's near Kirby. Like,
you're like
Kirby Street. They sent me down that place, but further still.
Yeah, you're going like probably like Sugarland.
Yeah, it was 245, 288, 45, 288. Then 69, and then turn left on like past Kirby and all that little shit. Like it's behind like a little game over on Kirby. So it was there, And I remember when the dude cut me off, I was like, what the fuck? And I always have my hand like this, like holding stuff. Like I was like, because I could see the like things moving. And I was like, and then I started moving my hand downwards, like feeling like down there. And I was like, oh shit, this is wet. I was like, oh no, something got out. And then I started noticing the lids, some of them were like that.
Oh.
And I was like, oh shit. And so I started like, on the middle of my drive, I'm on 45 with one hand and the other one, I'm like trying to like put it together, yeah. And I'm like, ah, shit. And I start smelling it. I'm like, oh no. And so I get to the owner's house and I call, like, it says just leave at my door, but I call them. I'm like, hey, this is Jose with DoorDash. Could you come outside? I know you wanted it left at the door, but something happened on the way here. And the guy's like, oh, okay. And I was like, look, I'm really, really sorry. And I take out the bag and like you said, you see the fucking like
food,
the red like soup underneath. And the guy's like, I was like, I'm so sorry. I try to cover it. But, and you can see, like, the one where it spilled, there was this much was left over on the cup out of, like, that, like, a tall-ass one. And I was like, it spilled on the way here. I didn't notice, like, until when I got here. I was, like, feeling up the bag, and I was like, oh, my God, this is out. I thought nothing happened when this dude cut me off on the freeway, and the guy's like, oh, don't worry about it. I was like, no, do you think you can cancel or, like, something? And the guy's like, no, don't worry about it. I'll just take it like this. And he grabs the bag, and you see it, like, start, like, a little bit of it coming up. And I was like, please, no, this is bad. And he's like, no, it's okay. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And as soon as I leave and I put complete order, I see $18. I was like, bro, like, what the fuck? And I call you, right? I'm like, bro, I'm about to cry. And you're like, why? And I was like, I fucked up, man. The order got out, and I gave it to the customer, and they paid me $18, bro. Like, it's not even complete. Like, I was like, I didn't complete the order, man. They didn't get their shit. And I started fucking tearing up. I was like, bro, they paid me $18. Is there a way I can fucking return it?
And I was like, oh my God.
You were like, you got $18? I was like, but I want to return it, man. And you just started laughing.
Yeah.
Like, you can't fucking do that. I was like, is there a way for them to get their money back? Because they literally paid me for a bad job.
God.
I felt so bad that day, bro. Like, I have a conscience, and whenever I do something bad, I instantly regret it. Or I feel it, like, in my soul or whatever, you know? And that day, it fucked me up. Like, I might tear up thinking about it.
I know, like, I was like, are you crying? You're like, yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, I'm fucking crying, man. I was like, I got paid $18, and you're like, you're just fucking with me. You're like, you're just playing around. You're just
you sent me a screenshot. I'm like, oh, what an asshole.
I was like, bro, it happened. Like, because originally it was $11 for 9 miles, and then it was 18. I was like, bro, they fucking paid me this, and you're like, oh, you're such an asshole, and you just piled onto it, and I was like, man, this is shit, and I started, like, tearing up more on the way there, on the way, like, back to the fucking, like, area. Damn it, that was a bad one, man.
You're such an asshole.
Fuck you. I still feel bad. So we're gonna go with this one, the rudest customer, and I have / restaurant, because I didn't have really any rude customers. Oh, wait, I do have one, but you go.
The rudest customer was, like, this one lady that... I know something was up when I got the order. I can't remember where I got it from, but it's like, you know, where it says, like, you know, special instructions or customer instructions. Mm-hmm. It was like hand to customer. This lady, she didn't put, like, the address correctly or how to get it there. Mm-hmm. It said, please let it be an English speaking driver.
Mm-hmm. I remember you told me this.
And I was like, what the hell? I don't know, whatever. I didn't think of it much. I was like, it's probably like an old person, whatnot. So I get there, right? And I'm like, okay, hey, you know, I'm here, like, you know, in the building residence. I just want to know, how do I get to your apartment? Like, what's your building number? Mm-hmm. And she's like, it's the building where it's like by the pool. I'm like, okay, how do I get to the pool? Do you not understand what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, but how do I get to you? Like, did you read my instructions? Can you read? Because I hear you speaking English, but can you read English? I was like, oh my God. And I was like, okay, well, can you, like, I'm right here. I just opened the door. Guide me there. Like, you know, because, like, it was, like, already, like, I think it was like 5 or 10 minutes of walking.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you were walking back and forth, like looking for the spot and stuff like that.
Yeah, because like there's those apartment buildings where it says building 1, then
But it has
building
a
17.
Did you use a directory or was it just like a?
Hell no, it's a ghetto ass place.
Oh, it was a ghetto place.
It was super ghetto. Yeah, it was super ghetto. It was like somewhere by I can't remember, but it was like by Shepherd or no, I know it was like.
You heard the gunshots?
There's gunshots?
Yeah.
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, there was like 2, 3.
No, I didn't hear it. But yeah, it was like super ghetto. Like the ghettoer the place, the more random the numbers are.
I thought they were gonna say like the ruder because they're pretty rude.
No, like the buildings, because like you go to the apartments, it says building 1, 2, 3, and then on the other side it says like the 20, like and it goes down that way. One ascends, one descends, but this one is random. It's like 1, 20, 17, 27, like 5.
What the hell?
4, like 41.
Yeah, like there wasn't an like set like, oh, okay, I'm looking at this number. I know that I'm going this way. I'll find the number.
Yeah, it was just like scattered. It even went up to like 30 something or 40 something. I was like, what the fuck? So yeah, and she's like, I'm by the pool. I'm by the fucking pool. Okay, where's the pool? And like once I get there, like this whole fucking time, she's like,
you're on the phone with her. Yeah,
she's cussing me out, and I was like, wow. And as soon as I get there, and I finally managed to find the pool, she's like, okay, it's on the 2nd floor. I was like, okay, can you turn on the light? Is this building number? Is this the number or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, well, most of these like they don't have like because of on the outside it has the light and it illuminates.
Yeah,
and you can see the numbers.
Mm-hmm. Everything was off.
Everything was off, and then she was already sitting outside and she was watching me, and I was like, oh, is that you on the phone? She's like, who? I was like, yeah, you up there wearing the PJs. And she's like, where? Hold on. And she goes in and she comes out. I was like, yeah, you just went in and you just came out. Yeah, why aren't you handing me my food? I was like, oh, you motherfucker. And so I give it to her, and she's like, she just like, snatches the food and slams the door. And I was like, okay, fuck it, whatever.
Fucking hate people like that, bro. So mine was actually here in North Houston. I remembered the rudest customer. I've never had anyone super rude with me, like you, like where they're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. But on the phone, sometimes it just texts you like the dumbest shit. So I was driving to actually it's the apartment building where we turned. I was like, oh, I've dropped off here before. Like when we went to the Chase, It was around there. And I drove, and like the instructions were nice. Like I was like, oh, cool, she has the right instructions, blah, blah, blah. And so her thing says, on the mailboxes, turn left. You will find I forgot what it was. I think it's like a Buick. That is my car. That is where my apartment is. I drive straight. I see the mailboxes. Right next to them, there's a fucking Buick. I'm like, oh, this is it. And I go out, and I start walking. And I'm like, but there's no building number. Like, her building number isn't here. And so I was like, maybe it's further ahead. I go further down, go around, like, a little area, and there's another Buick. And I was like, holy shit, I think this is it. Because I see the number very close to hers, right? And while I'm doing this, I'm getting text. Have you read my instructions? Are you almost here? Where are you? Where are you? Do you know where my building number is? Did you go to the mailbox? And I'm like, I was right in front of her apartment for the last one. She's like, are you going to drop it off? And I was like, it's already here. And I just fucking knocked on the door and I was like, here you go. And like, it was right after she had sent me that one message where she's like, what are you doing? Where are you?
Wow.
Yeah, and she just acted like it was nothing. Like, oh,
thank you so much.
No, she didn't even do that. She was like, thanks. And I was like, oh, on the thing said you needed an extra, because they forgot her sodas. I was like, oh yeah, I got you 2 sodas because they forgot one. And she's like, oh, took it, went in.
What a bitch.
Fucking bitch, bro. I fucking hated it. She was the worst. That was the worst customer I've ever had. But this one's interesting. Strangest delivery. Like, let's just say I can give you my story so you know what I mean. So by my strangest delivery, I mean this. I picked up from actually Fajita Pete's.
Oh.
And it was an apartment building on Antoine, right? And I'm driving there, and on my way there, like right before I turn, I see a fuck ton of lights, like cop lights. And I'm like, what could be happening here? Hopefully further ahead is not where I'm supposed to go. There's literally a fire truck on the corner where I had to turn. I was like, oh shit, I thought it was the next street. So I turn right, and I look at the buildings, and there's one that just fucking is burning. Like, the whole building caught fire. And I was like, oh shit, what if that's where I was supposed to deliver? And then, so the building is here, where I had to drop off was directly in front of it. But I went to the wrong side. I went to this side instead of this side. This side was the side where the fire, like right next to the fire. And so I'm like, fuck it. And so I knock on the door. The lady's like, what? And I was like, here's your food. She's like, oh, thank you. I was like, oh shit, I forgot your soda. So I go and come back and I give it to her. And I'm like, hey, there's a building catching fire like right next to you? And she's like, what? And she looks down. She's like, oh, there's a lot of black fire. I was like, yeah. And then she's like, What happened? Do you know? I was like, no, I just walked up and I saw all this fucking fire. I got caught off guard, bro. That was the weirdest thing that ever happened to me.
I hope nobody was injured.
Hopefully not.
I think my strangest delivery was like when I went to deliver to, I think it was a stripper.
Oh, I remember you told me about this, yeah.
Yeah, it was strange as hell. The strangest thing ever. I forgot where, but I got paid good as fuck. So yeah, I remember I went to go pick up from this one restaurant. I showed up, knock on the door. She opens the door. Mm-hmm. She's wearing like this. She's only wearing like a fishnet, like everywhere fishnet. Mm-hmm. Like it's like I want to say like a onesie or something.
It's a fishnet thing. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and she had like a collar, and then like I was able to see everything. And I was like.
Was she like good figure or was she like?
Yeah, it was good figure, like good figure and whatnot. But she was like on like
the chunky side.
Yeah, on the thick side, and I was like, what's going on and whatnot?
What if you like got into like maybe she was doing like an OnlyFans or like she was doing like a stream, like like she was streaming herself doing something and you just caught her right in the middle of it, like.
But it was so crazy because she just opened it and like she was just like that, and I was like she wasn't gonna cover up or anything like that or put on a robe or something. And she was just like
like what the fuck was she pulled the Superman?
Like, yeah, yeah. She just opens the door and like very confidently, and she was like but I'm pretty sure she was getting ready or something because she had like that. Maybe she had like that shower cap.
Oh, so maybe it was like right before one of those streams or something. Maybe.
And I was like, here's your food. And she's like, oh, I already tipped you in the app and whatnot. And she just like, kind of like, I don't know. She just like slowly closes the door. I'm like, I was just like, what the fuck did I see?
The moment, like right after, like you're like in a little corner, you just hear.
No.
That's all you hear?
No, but that was weird. I was like, damn. I was like,
I wonder what I would have done in that situation. I would have just been like, or would I just like not looked and been like, here's your food and walked away? I think maybe that would have been me because I'm that introverted.
No, usually I have the food and I'm like looking at things and I see and all I see is just like bare feet and like the what is it called, the fishnets.
That's what got you.
And I was like looking up and it's like a reveal.
yeah.
And I was like,
reveal.
I saw like I was like. Wait, what the fuck? Am I for real seeing? I was like, wait, I recognize that. And I'm like going up. I was like,
I recognize those.
Here's your food. I was like, hi, here's your food. And I was like...
This is another one that I've had, which was a little weird. But it wasn't that fucking weird. But I think she was... I don't know if she was hitting on me, but it was one of those type of weird things. Because it was I was dropping off liquor from Fiesta. Like the Fiesta Liquor Mart. And when I got there, I was like, oh, this is going to suck because I need ID. I need to scan it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm there for like a couple minutes and I'm calling them and they're not answering, right? Uh-huh. And she's like, and so I called DoorDash and they're like, oh, just put like you're going to cancel the order because it gives you a timer. And I texted them, hey, you're on your last 2 minutes because it gives you a 2-minute timer. And she opens the door and she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't get your calls. And I was like, oh, no, it's fine. And she's like, here's my ID. What do you think of the picture? And I was like, what?
What?
She's like, do you think I look cute in this picture or now? And I was like, yeah, that's a cute picture. And like, she was like, really? And I was like, yeah. She was like, but what about now? And I was like, yeah, you don't look bad. And she's like, oh, okay. And I was like, so what are you doing? She's like, I'm just gonna be drinking with my friends tonight. And I was like, okay. And I just walked away. But I think there was something there. Like, she was being she was being very like forward. But I didn't fucking pick up on. I did pick up, but I was just like, no, I'm driving. I'm delivering. You know, like in my mind, I'm like, I'm not gonna. But yeah, she was very strange because I think she was partially drunk. Like, yeah, I think they had already started, possibly. And that's why she was being a little like that because she was like, oh, so what are you doing tonight? It's like nothing, just driving.
That reminds me of another one where like it was kind of strange. It was like like almost similar.
Yeah. And then she's like, I gave you extra money on the app, by the way. Thank you for waiting. I was like, oh, okay. Like, she was like that, too. I was like, thank you. And I just walked away.
There's two. No, I've had, like, a few like that.
A few instances like that? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, but the one that kind of, I knew she was trying to do something was, like, because, like, what is it called? I went to go deliver, right? Because like, so I opened the door, right? I opened. Sorry, it's because I'm like
you knock on the door.
I knock on the door. She opens the door, and I'm about to give her the food, and she's like, "Oh, you're kind of cute. I ordered food, not a cutie." I was like, "What the hell?
The fuck?"
And I was like, "Oh, huh, thank you." And like, you know, and I'm giving her the food, and she's like, "Hey, I ordered for two." I was like, "Okay, that's good." And like I was like, okay, here, you enjoy. And she's like, do you have like at least 5 minutes? You want to come for a drink? Or you're thirsty or anything? No, I'm okay. And I started walking, and I see that she's still like with the door open, and she's like
staring at you,
like smiling and like you know, waving yeah. by. I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on?
You're like, this succubus tried to take me.
Yeah, and she was wearing a robe.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, okay. The second time was...
So you would have had an actual, like, porno, like, situation on your hands.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like the pizza delivery boy?
Yeah.
Like, you would have had one of those.
Yeah, pretty much.
Damn.
But I was like, nah, I'm not about that life.
I wonder if I would have had one with that chick. Like, if I would have been like, oh, yeah, like, you know, more assertive, like, maybe, but nah, I doubt.
Just pull the Johnny Bravo and take out my shirt.
And it was her and her girlfriend, too, drinking.
Oh?
Yeah. So yeah, that happened. You know,
the disrespect. That's what came to mind. I was like, the disrespect to the girlfriend.
Oh, why?
Because she started hitting on you. Like
no, not girlfriend, as in like a friend. Like,
oh,
yeah, no, not that. No, it was a girlfriend. Like they were just drinking for the night, like inside the house.
Oh,
yeah.
The next one was like this was like the most recent one. It was like a. It was an order. It was like, I know it's like for kids and one adult, and I went to go deliver. It's like somewhere by like Montrose, but I remember I knock on the door and I'm like, you know, looking right over, and like door swings open, wide open, and like the most perkiest girl comes out. Hi, how are you? like thank you so much. And I was like, oh, you're welcome. Thank you for choosing DoorDash. Use your food. Enjoy. And she's like, just like staring and like kind of like looking up and down. And I was like, okay, thank you. Have a nice day. And she's like, oh, okay. And she like closes the door. And I was like, what the fuck?
Dude.
It's strange.
I feel like, is it because you look... Like, in my mind, right, I don't see you as, like, a girl would see you. But is it, like... My question would be, like... How can I say this? You look... Oh, well, yeah, we got a little bit. Like, we'll finish up in a little bit. But you look kind of exotic. Like, you look Middle Eastern sometimes.
Yeah,
I think maybe that's what it is. I feel like that's what it is because, like, right now there's a huge, like, Middle Eastern thing going on with a lot of girls. Like, if you go on TikTok, there's, like, these Asian girls putting, I'm looking for my Libyan guy, or, like, a Libyan dude. I want a Libyan boyfriend, like, stuff like that. So, maybe that's what it is. They see you and they're like, oh, he might be Middle Eastern. Even though you speak normal, they're like, oh, even better, or something, you know?
Like, I'm like Kumar?
Yeah, basically, it's like, that's what you do. So yeah, we'll be right back after this commercial break. Not really.
The next one is like when it was another instance. It was like a Middle Eastern.
Is it 73 or 74?
73.
73. Part 2. Don't talk about it yet. We gotta save it for this. We're back. And we're back. I just have to do it again because it didn't. I don't think it picked it up. So who was the next lady?
It wasn't a customer, but I remember I was picking up at this ice cream place, Jenny's Ice Cream.
Mm-hmm.
But I was waiting. Like there's like there was like a line, and it was like two people, and like there was like this girl already waiting. I'm pretty sure she was like doing something, but she was Middle Easterner, and I was dressed kind of like. Because I was trying to go for like an Aladdin look, so I wore kind of like baggy, like a very baggy shirt, baggy, baggy. What is it called? Pants. And I cuffed them at the bottom, where it looks like it's like kind of like those ninja. The ninja.
I was saying how you cuff, like if you cuff your jeans.
And I forgot what I was wearing, but yeah, like, and then. It was weird. It was like a weird interaction. She's like, "I love your earrings." I was like, "I don't have any earrings."
Wait, what? Oh, yeah, because you had the gauges, no?
Yeah, but I didn't have any gauges.
Oh.
Like this was like a few days ago. She's like, "I love your earrings." I was like, "Oh, thanks, but I don't have any earrings." Like, and she's like, "Oh no," and she's like, getting like super close. And I was like, and I just like went in and.
Would you date a Middle Eastern girl?
Hell yeah, I would.
Right? Like, there's something about them that they're very beautiful. Like a lot of them are gorgeous. I remember one time. This makes me laugh. Would you date an Indian girl?
Yes.
Because I remember one time, Michael and Steven were at Sam's.
They have the best food.
I've never really tried it, but they were at Sam's, right? And I know Michael went, "Man, it fucking smells like ass in here," like loud, right? He said it's super loud. And this Indian girl just goes and walks away. Like she covers up and walks away. I was like, ah. Like, I felt so bad for her, because, like, that's not something you do, right? It's so mean. Especially when you just go, "It smells like fucking ass in here."
Plot twist, it wasn't her.
Damn, man. That was me. I was farting.
Wow.
But, yeah, so that's interesting. Man, like I'm saying, I think that's what it is. I think it's just because you look a little Middle Eastern, like your big-ass nose, your dark skin. They're like, yeah. They're like, this guy might be Middle Eastern. Let's see what he is. He's exotic. I'm pretty sure when you get to Japan, they're gonna be in love with you.
And like when they start speaking Spanish,
multiple languages, huh? They're like English, Spanish, and his country. He just doesn't speak it right now. They're like, "Can you hit us with something from Iraq?" I don't speak Iraq. Where are you from? What part of the Middle East? I'm not Middle Eastern. I'm Mexican in Salvador.
I remember at some point in my life, I was learning how to speak Farsi.
What's that?
Farsi, I think it's like Egyptian. No, it's not Egyptian. It's it's because I have a friend who speaks Farsi. He's Persian.
Oh, okay, Persian.
Yeah, he's Persian. And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
But is Persia still a country?
I don't know. I'm very good. I'm very good. I'm very bad with geometry.
Okay. Oh, that's mad. Yeah, no. I like this geology, isn't it?
Geography.
Geography, there you go. It's geology, then the study of the earth, right?
The dirt, yeah.
I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
I was trying to see like if you caught that, and you're like...
I caught it, but I was like, a little late. That was my dumb moment. But, yeah, it's weird, man. Like, you do get a lot of attention from girls. That's something.
That's alright. What's the next one?
I will say this, though. The good thing I do like about DoorDash is that, like, it kind of forces me out of my shell, like, a little bit. Because I'm very, like I said, introverted, but having to do DoorDash and having to talk to people and going to, like, restaurants and, like, hey, this is an order for blah, 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 like, interacting with more people, like, kind of helps me out.
Yeah, it really boosts your, like, your confidence, too.
It's not really just confidence. It's more just, like, hey, I'm talking to people. Like, exposure? I normally never do that. Yeah, like, even now, like, I'll go out somewhere and I'll see someone wearing something cool. Oh, I love your shoes. Oh, thanks. Like that. Mm-hmm. Like, I never used to do that. I'd just be like, cool shoes in my mind, but I never said it. Mm-hmm. But that kind of, like, that's one of the cool things about it.
Yeah, which is always great.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something that I like about you.
What?
That you always step out of your comfort zone.
Well, not back in the day. Now, yeah. Now I have to, kind of, but back in the day, no. Like, now I'll force myself, but, like, I'm getting used to it.
Yeah, but that's something, that's a very good quality. I like it. I love it.
All right, man.
Okay.
We're down to 3, I think. This one I didn't kind of want to don't do it because it might expose us.
Okay.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense. But this one, let's see if I have another one up front. No, we'll go with this one. Worst day.
Oh, do you want to start or should I start?
I mean, we're both similar in
Rock,
one
paper,
aspect.
scissors?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Wait.
Oh, wait.
1, 2, 3, and then shoot.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
There you go.
Okay, so I won because of scissors, and he got paper for the listeners out there.
I was about to actually say that too. I was gonna go.
Okay, so it was I was getting like little signs of like from G himself.
Yeah, that's a great line. Yeah.
Yeah, because like
You
came up with it.
Yeah, I'm complimenting myself.
It's what an asshole. Such conceited motherfucker.
That was a good one though, right?
And
so just a background for everyone. Like I made this up because I'm always like, hey, what was it again?
it's a sign from G himself.
It's a sign from G himself because G is God, right? I always say that. Like I'll be like, oh, thank God, or this is a sign from God. And one day I was like, hey, it's a sign from G, like and so I always tell you, like, I remember one time we were dashing and it was raining and I wanted to come home and just like hang out. And I was like, dude, it's a sign from G himself. Like, we gotta do something, like, we gotta get. And you're like, what the fuck is G? I was like, God, he's telling us. And you're like, what the fuck? I was like, it's God telling us that we should just hang out, watch anime, and like hang out at my house. We can eat here.
I was thinking something gangsta, but like
Yeah, I was like, nah, it's God, bro, G himself. We gotta make a board saying that it's a sign from G,
it's G himself.
and make the G like look super like goes in with like godly, like, you know what I mean?
Like the T from SpongeBob when he's like doing like 1,000 things not to do at a red light.
Yeah.
And it's like the V and it's
No,
like,
it was what I learned in boarding school. No.
no. Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
think
it's
so.
like what I learned in boarding school is.
Mhm.
No, it was a red light. It was a red light.
Yeah, and anyways, I know it was like a few signs from G himself because I remember I needed to put gas, but usually I don't put gas at this one Valero, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it, and then like I went there and I was trying to swipe my card, it wasn't working, and I was like, what the hell? And I went in there, and then like it was saying something about my bank was like, not working. I was like, what the hell? And I waited like a few minutes. So throughout those minutes, when I went through, I came back. There was like a lot of like birds got busy. So there was like a bunch of yogurt on my.
Oh, they shit all over your car.
They shit all over my fucking windshield. Yogurt.
Yogurt.
Yeah.
When you say that, I'm also thinking about that. Like for a bad day too, was the day you got spit on.
Oh, fuck that day. And so yeah, I was like, okay, whatever. So I started like wiping the thing, like I with the water,
the little water thingy, like the one that they have there to clean the windshield.
No, like it was from my car.
Oh, they shit on your mirrors?
Yeah, it was like on the windshield.
Oh wow!
But I was already in there, and I was like, when you pull back the windshield wipers, and it
throws
sprays
water, and then it cleans.
Well, yeah, it kind of sprayed, but it went out.
Oh.
And so I had like smeared shit.
Yeah, smeared shit.
And I was like, fuck, what the fuck do I do? I was like, oh, whatever. I'm just going to go and continue my day. And then,
like, I'm going to power through with all this shit.
And I was like, I'm just going to drive to the nearest, what is it called?
Car wash?
Yeah, Mr. Car Wash.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, I pull out. And right on the red light, where I click, start dash.
Mm-hmm. I
clicked start dash, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get this order, and then boom, 1 mile, $10. Oh shit! I automatically didn't hesitate.
Except no.
And then like, I put it like I started like accelerating. And I was like, wait, why is it not accelerating? And I was like, oh fuck! And it's like, and all you hear is, Klah! I was like, fuck! It accelerated, but it broke, and then like. And I was like, oh fuck! And then it kind of like turned to the right, and
Mm-hmm.
I got out. I pushed a car by myself, and like I was like hella pissed because like it's a new car, and it was like a kind of like a
well, not new, 2 years old now by this point.
Yeah,
2019, new and pre-owned, but still like newish.
And it was like an incline thing, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna let out on my anger, push it. Next thing you know,
yo, push it.
turns out it was my transmission.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
And just a like side point, he called me around that time, right? And you're like, hey, do you have a screwdriver? And I was like, what? What do you need one for? Oh, my transmission fucked up. I'm like, oh no, let me call Michael. And I called them, and none of them answered. And then like I drove, and you're like, is that you?
Yeah,
like,
you're like right there.
I was driving on North Main, right? And I just hear, is that you? And I was like, the fuck? And I look at your car, and I'm like, oh damn. And I was like, do you need help? I'm just about to do this delivery, and you're like, no, it's fine. It was $1 10 miles.
Yeah.
I mean, it was $10 for a mile. The one I got.
That's the one that I did. Bastard. But yeah,
It was actually that worth.
I know. I was hella pissed.
I was like, bro, and you're like, do you have a screwdriver? Like, I was trying to tell you, like, I was happy for my order, and then you're like, do you have a screwdriver?
Yeah, because I was trying to check like the fluids, because I was like, I probably need some like more fluid and whatnot. But like, it would reverse, but it wouldn't drive. And
Why didn't you just do your dash in reverse? Imagine just like the whole time it's you looking back. Oh, you have the camera though.
Yeah, I do have
You
the camera.
just dashed in reverse.
Imagine like I'm in the what is it called? What the drive-through of the McDonald's?
Oh, on the other side, you have to like yell, like bring down the
like through the window.
Hi, order number 368954. And then when they give it, can you just throw it on the seat? But yeah, I didn't think of that. I was just like, you could just dash in reverse, park at a restaurant, and then reverse his way into the new house. Okay, so I'll share mine after this. So mine is very, not similar, because mine it's bullshit, bro. So I woke up that morning, right? I put water in my truck. I checked the engine oil. I put a little bit just to be safe.
Like the everyday thing?
Yeah, I was just checking it. I was making sure everything was good.
Inspection.
I pump gas. Then I go right to dashing. I get an order from Dish Society. And it takes me over there near 11th Street, like in the back. No, not 11th. It was actually near the Walmart on 11th Street, but on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So I go there. I'm like, oh, I've been here before. A few times. Because I used to go to the doctor right near that building. And I pass it. I didn't notice. I was like, oh, shit, it wasn't that building. I'm like, let me just turn left here and then reverse. And I'll go into the building. On my way there, I noticed that my truck made a weird noise. But I was just like, it's my truck. It always does this. But it went like...
Raise the volume on the music?
No, the fucked up thing was, it was like on the passenger side where the air conditioner is. You just hear... And I was like... the fuck is this? And every time I floor it, you just hear crank, crank, crank. And I was like, okay, these are different sounds. And I call my dad. I'm like, hey, Dad, it sounds like a fucking rattlesnake. Like, you hear like that. And he's like, okay, what else? I'm like, no, that's all I'm hearing. And he's like, okay, call me back if anything happens. And so I turn left. The moment I hit reverse, truck dies.
Oh, fuck.
100% dies. And I remember this day very clearly because it was the first day I wore my fucking Bugs Bunny Converse, the red ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like super happy. I was all like, yay, Bugs Bunny. Like I would look down at my feet, like all happy about my shoes. And I was like, as soon as that happened, it was on a construction site. There was a lot of like, not dirt, but a bunch of polvo and stuff. Like, and I was like, fuck, I'm gonna dirty these shoes. The first thing I thought, I was like, these shoes are gonna get dirty.
Same here. I was wearing my white Lacoste. I was like, bro, you're gonna make me crease my fucking shoes.
I was like, I'm gonna dirty Bugs Bunny. This fucking sucks.
Ah, dude. But yeah, we managed to pull through.
And I called him, and he actually came, and he's like, so what are you gonna do? I was like, I don't know. I called the tow truck. They're on their way, but I don't know what to do. And I was like, I can't get it onto the street because it's like a very bad incline. It was like that.
It was fucked up.
And then the guys, like the construction guys, you were like, why don't you ask them? And then, like, they saw us, like, trying to push and like, no, we got it. And they ran, and, like, 2 guys helped us.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and so, like, thank you, those guys. Like, really, like, they were good Samaritans that day. Like, they actually helped me out. We parked it in a good spot. Tow truck got there. And then I took it to the mechanic. Then the tow truck driver drove me home. He's like, yeah, I got you. Don't worry about it. And because you were going to drive me home. I remember you were like, hey, if you need me, you were ready. And then I got a call from the mechanic. I was like, oh, so what was it? And he's like, oh, engine fucked up. And I was like, how? And he's like, it fucked up. There was no water in it. I had to put 5 gallons. I was like, no way. I put water that morning. He's like, yeah, it didn't have any water. It was completely dried up. I was like, what could have happened? And something I realized later, because we brought the radiator home, literally rusted on the left side.
Oh, it was all corroded.
It was corroded. It's not even my fucking fault. Like, I wasn't the cause of it. Like, it was just because the fucking, I guess it just burst. And like, over time, like, the water would just spill.
Oh, damn.
And I'm still paying for that shit. Like, I'm paying it. Like, it's my debt.
That's upsetting. Fuck, dude. I'm hella pissed about that.
I'm pissed for myself.
What's our next one?
Well, the next one's the last one, which is our best roast.
Oh, I don't have one.
I know, I have one, and it's... So, I don't know why. Like I said, DoorDash brings out the anger in me, right?
Of course. Let's hear it.
For some reason. So, I'm driving, and I see this girl on my left. She's like in a little white Toyota, right? And I'm just like, huh. And I don't know why I felt like this. I don't even know. Like, we were on the phone, right? And I was like, look at this bitch on my left. Like, this is exactly how it started. Look at her with her fucking phone, having the time of her life.
Laughing with her friends.
Laughing with her friends. Because it was a girl and all her friends in the car, and they're like, ha, ha, ha. And I was like, look at them just laughing, having the time of their lives with their fucking Starbucks. Whores!
Fucking whores.
Fucking whores. I was like, I fucking hate them with a passion. You're like, bro, calm down. I was like, nah, man, I'm done with this shit. Like,
and they were just not doing anything.
They didn't do anything. They didn't even cut me off. I was just driving with a fucking, like, just anger. I remember that day because you were, like, just laughing your ass off at my roast. I think that's why I continued it, because I thought I'm going to make them laugh even more. But, yeah, I just went off, man, for no reason. They were completely innocent. I apologize to y'all ladies. If you ever meet me, I will say sorry, but I don't think I will meet you.
Did you have the windows rolled down?
No.
So there's nothing to apologize for.
There's nothing to apologize for, but in my mind, my conscience is telling me I should apologize. It's like that one time. This isn't me saying this word, but I remember we went to Denny's, me, Pedro, and Christian. Mm-hmm. And I always used to roll the windows down, like just because I like the breeze at night. BC, before COVID. Mm-hmm. And we see a group of a guy and two girls walking out. And the guy's flamboyant, right? And so Christian's like, fucking F word. Like, you know, like he says that. And since the window's down, the guy looks at him and he's like, put up the window, please. Like, Christian's like,
but he didn't know the...
But it was locked, like, for the driver. Uh-huh. Like, the driver had, like, the windows locked. And so Christian's like trying to hold it. He didn't even notice the windows were down. So the guy just looks at him and he's like, "Please put up the window."
He's like,
just put, and yeah, he's like slashing
into like a little turtle.
And I turn around and I look at the guy and I'm like, "I'm so sorry." Like, I told the guy that he told that to.
Oh, what about the time when you were an asshole? Oh, when like the McDonald's.
I have two near fights.
Really?
For DoorDash, yeah, two near fights. One of them, I had picked up a Shipley's donut order on fucking what's the name of this tollway? Hardy?
No. Yeah, it is
Hardy. Yeah, it was on Hardy, bro. It sent me from Little York 45 to that place. Mm-hmm. Like on Hardy and Little York to pick up the donuts. And so I had to drop off on, what's it called? Aldine Mail? Mm-hmm. Something like that. And so I remember that I was going to turn left. And there was no cars coming. So I was like, all right, I'm going to turn left. And the truck that was on the side, like on the left side, mm-hmm. just floored it. And he almost hit me. So I honked at him and I was like, what the hell? And then the guy's like that, like to return it, right? Yeah. And so I start driving and I see him make a U-turn. Uh-huh. And like he's following me. And so I go, okay, motherfucker's following me. Let's see what happens. I turn left on this like car lot, like where they sell cars. And the guy like parks there. And he's like, what's your fucking problem? I was like, what's yours, bitch? He's like, don't you know how to fucking drive? I was like, yeah, I fucking know, you dumbass. And he's like, no, you don't, I was like, you had a stop sign, I had to go left, you didn't have to fucking floor it, you dumbass. And he's like, blah, 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 and I get out of the truck, and as soon as he sees me, he goes, like, you know, like
yeah, because you're like, massive.
Yeah, he fucking tries to hide,
yeah,
and he's like, well, fuck you, and he just drives off.
What a pussy.
I know. And you were like, I remember, maybe, I don't think you were on the phone with me at this time.
No, with that one, no.
But I remember I called you right after. I was like, bro, this fucking asshole tried to fight me. You're like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, bro, piece of shit, over here passing the stop sign. You're like, oh, shit.
I was like, where's he at? Let's go.
Yeah, no, that was the second guy.
Oh, that was the second
guy. So, the second one, there's a McDonald's on Yale. and on the right side is only an entrance,
Uh-huh.
like that little spot. And there was this little white car there, and I gave it space. I was like, all the space in the world. I gave it a bunch of space, and the dude stayed there, and he was like, on his fucking phone. And so I turned left because I saw a fuck ton of cars coming, and I was gonna wait even longer. I turned left, like where the Quiznos used to be.
Oh, yeah.
Like that little spot right next to it.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, hey, you know this isn't a parking spot? He's like, fuck you! I was like, dude, it's not a parking. This isn't an exit. And he's like, man, fuck you. And I was like, fuck me, fuck you.
Yeah, you're like, I remember hearing that.
I was like, fuck you. And then the guy's like, what? And I was like, what, bitch? And I get out of the truck, and I'm like, what's up? What are we doing? And his girlfriend's like, just don't go. Just don't. Like, I could see her holding on to him. And I remember I was like, and the guy's like, what, bitch, get out of your truck. I'm like, I'm out. Come on, let's fucking go. And then the guy's just like, man, fuck you. And he drives off. And I see him turn right. And I was like, oh, this motherfucker's about to make a U-turn, because I was still on the phone with you, and you're like, is he back? And I was like, no. He's like, where the fuck are you? I was like, on the McDonald's on Yale. You're like, you need backup? Yeah, you're like, I'm on my way. Need backup? And I was like, bro, I was gonna fuck him up. Like, and you're like, what do you mean? I was like, I was picturing me getting him out of his car and just slamming the door on his fucking head, like brutally. Like, in my mind, I was gonna fucking go to jail that day. Like, in all honesty, I was mad. Like, real rage. Like, you've never seen me full, like, rage.
Uh-huh.
I was there. I was gonna fuck that guy up. Like, no mercy. Like, I wasn't gonna show him any
mercy, like
I wasn't
game.
gonna show him any mercy whatsoever. Like, if something would have happened to me, it was gonna happen to me, but I was gonna fuck up that guy.
Wow.
The whole time you're on the phone, though, I love it. You're just like,
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on? What's happening? And I just ignored you 100% and focus on the dude, like, just arguing with him the whole time.
I was like, fuck. I should have had your location.
Right? No, that time I was like, I don't give a fuck. I was even like, if he knocks me out, he knocks me out, but I'm gonna try to fuck him up as best I can. He was a skinny looking dude. His car was full of a bunch of packages in the back. Like, it was just a bunch of boxes. Like, small like this.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and it was like a little shitty white car.
He was probably doing, like, that fetch delivery?
No, but it was like fuck tons of boxes. Like, it looked like soap boxes, kind of.
Oh, shit.
And it was stacked all the way, like, to the top.
That's weird as fuck.
It looked kind of like a... Well, you know Regis?
Uh-huh.
One time he visited me and he had a ton of packages in the back of his car.
Oh, really?
It looked just like that.
Oh, I see.
Uh-huh, it looked just like that. So I was like, oh, this guy might be...
I gotcha.
But, yeah, so... That was my rage.
Those are all of our DoorDash moments.
I mean, we have a few more, but, like, not that I can think of at this exact moment.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because like in the podcast, like we kind of blank out, but when we're on like
when it ends, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
because when I was talking about gay relatives, I didn't even bring up my other gay cousin Mario. I didn't bring up like this one gay guy that used to live with the Juarez's that Christian would always make fun of him. And I was like, the first time I met them, like in a bunch of years, they're like, hey, there's this gay guy that lives with us. And his favorite day is December 13th. I was like, and I guess his name is Guadalupe. And they're like, how the fuck did you know? And I was like, because that's the Virgin Mary's Day.
Oh, that's
And he's like, oh shit, bro, I thought you were reading minds. I was like, no. Like, it was something like that. Oh, there was this gay guy that my parents are really close friends with this lady called Doña Blanca, right?
Uh-huh.
And her brother was like a dance instructor for like the University of Houston, and he would be like that guy, you know. And he was like, we knew he was gay, but no one gave a shit. Like, we were all super cool with him. And I remember my mom's like, "Ese sí sabe bailar," and like whenever he got drunk enough, he would bring out the dance moves, and we'd just be like amazed because he was so good. He was fucking talented, bro. I remember
every day you would just show up with the bottle.
No, like every party, like we could talk about like childhood parties that we had or like stories of that.
Oh yeah,
because there was a fuck ton of them with that family. I remember one time there's like a little sneak peek or whatever. You know how like in the piñatas they roll you around and they get you dizzy. So it was my turn, and they were rolling me like uno, dos, and they reached 20. They're like 21, 22. They kept going, and I was like, what the fuck? And I started like as soon as they stopped, I was just like. And I go to swing, and I just trip over these metal fucking, like, chairs. I just fall right on my ass. And everyone looks, and they're like, hey. I was like, fuck. And I just started crying. I was, like, 10 years old.
We should do that topic next.
That's not a bad one, honestly. Like the childhood parties or like children's parties when you have your kids.
I had a traumatizing one.
Oh really?
Yeah.
With a clown?
No.
I had one of those.
No, I had to go to the hospital.
I still remember my last party where I actually was like happy to have a party, and then I was like pissed off right after that.
Damn, bro.
Because I haven't had a party in ages since that birthday.
We don't celebrate birthdays in my with our family. I think we the last birthday party was like when I was 5.
Oh really?
5.
Because my family used to go all out, like
5
for
or
years.
6 or 7, something like that.
I know
it was like single digits.
For us, it was years of partying, but 2 events led to it to never happen again.
Oh shit!
Like we don't celebrate because of that.
Damn.
So that concludes this week's episode of Banana Hammock, BH Pod.
The pod of the H and B.
The pod of the H's and the B's. Please like, share, subscribe. Let people know that we're doing this. On YouTube, we're really underperforming, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, our videos don't get any likes, like, or views, like, barely. The last one has 3, and I'm one of them.
I'm one of them.
Oh, too? So we're both ones of them. Like, maybe the one girl that listens to us was like, let's see what they look like on YouTube. But yeah, that, please, like, go to YouTube if you're on Anchor. Just, like, look up Banana Hammock Podcast. Like, we're on there. Like, you'll be able to see us and, like, look at our gestures and, like, the videos we react to. Because we have 10 people.
I was thinking actually about sharing it on Facebook or something.
Maybe.
Like, putting the link and whatnot.
Yeah, I guess. I just wish we could work on better thumbnails.
Because
they're little,
we could take pictures of us.
Yeah, because they're a little, like, the ones that we use are a little generic, or, like, whatever YouTube produces.
All right.
Weird. Yeah, because there's one where I'm just, like that. It just looks weird. Like, I'm the only one with a big-ass mind. You're like... So it just looks weird. But yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Let us know what you think. And follow us on Banana Ham Pod on Twitter. And thank you for listening.
Peace.
Bye.